good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Too Fast, Too Terrible 200 here at Richmond Raceway. It's going to be 200 laps around this 0.75 mile oval as we're going to see some short track racing here tonight. The field is getting gridded up as it is Chris and Josh Kiwis, myself up here in the booth tonight with you for the Full Throttle Cup Series Performance Cup Series as we'll go ahead and get through your starting grid here. As Chris is currently getting into SDK right quick. Sorry about the late start. We were having some SDK issues. As riding here on pole tonight will be that number 8 machine of Kip Easley. Just popping in right there in that second place is going to be Josh Susie. Ken Baum Jr. going to sit in that third position with that fourth position going to Jeremy Zarfos. Then we're going to have Kyler McCarthy sitting in P5 in that number 24 machine. Ryan Broderick in that 6th position. William Brown going to be starting P7 here tonight with Dylan Hastings in 8. Steve Stripmatter going to be starting in that 9th position with Lucas Nilges starting in that 10th position. Jaden Bingaman, he's going to be starting in that 11th position with Jimmy Barr starting in that 12th position. And Chris, if you want to go through the rest of the grid here.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get this going here. As I said, heard you say Jimmy Barr going to be in that 12th position. You got Daniel Menzies in that 13th Menzies, excuse me, in that 13th position. Chris Lynn 14th, David Smill 15th, Nick Cannon 16th, Carson Pittman 17th, Michael Zuver 18th, Tyler Isley in 19th, 20th Andrew May. 21st, Jason Hand, Matthew Fitz in 22nd, Brett Strickler 23rd, Briggs Swope 24th, Stan Mayberry, Bill Hayes 25th, Dan DeGroot 26th, Brody Green 27th, Stan Mayberry 27th, Brody Green 28th, Chad Engel 29th, and Robbie Bice in that 30th position.
Yeah, I'm glad you can do that, Chris, because every time the grid starts getting all kerfuffled there in the back, it's really hard for me to read that, so good on you. As they're going to get pace lights off this time, Chris, it's going to be Kip Easley. These last 2 weeks, he's had some misfortune on the racetrack, so I guarantee you that 8 machine and that 3-cheese Chevy is thinking, man, if we can just take this green flag and get some smooth racing, he could possibly get out here to a good start. We know Richmond is one of those tracks, Chris, that is definitely a groove track. It's one of those short tracks that if you miss turn 1 just by a little bit, miss entry to turn 3 by a little bit, it can spell disaster for your whole race. So we're going to see these drivers have to get into a rhythm here early. We're going to see some good, hard racing. And we're going to have some fun here tonight at Richmond. The Too Fast, Too Terrible about to take the green flag as Kip Easley and that Josh Sushi machine going to take the green flag. We are racing here as the Full Throttle Performance Cup Series is green at Richmond. And you see Kip Easley off to a great start. Ken Baum Jr., who ran very well at COTA last week, he's going to dive right in behind at that 2nd position. And then following behind him is that Kyler McCarthy machine. As you see that inside lane really starting to form out, but Joshua Susie going to get a great run off that outside. He's going to hold that 3rd position right now. But really, too wide for the rest of the field, Chris. This is looking like a little bit of a speedway race. Or speedway race, excuse me.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about, how this race was going to start off. Were we going to have some early race cautions? I'm not going to speak too early, but, looking like right now we've got kind of single file in the front. Oh, I was going to say, Ken Baum Jr. going into the lead, but look at that, Josh. Kip Easley going to be trying to look on that inside, but we know Richmond is kind of weird when you get down on that bottom lane. When you're coming out of turn 4, you can get really loose coming up that corner, and the next thing you know, you're looking at the inside wall.
I think that's really anywhere in the track, Chris. You can just get loose at any moment if you overstep your boundaries at Richmond, but so far, so good through the field, as you were saying. Good, hard racing, Chris, as you look to the back of the field here. That's right on board with that 5th position. This is William Brown. He's riding behind that 24 Nitro machine of Kyler McCarthy. Behind him is that 29 machine of Jeremy Zarfos. And then in that 7th position behind them, Steve Serdemeyer, as you see that number 5 machine, that's Ryan Broderick. He's starting to pull up to the inside of that 51.
Yeah, and look at that, 29. Oh, on the inside door of that 9 machine of William Brown. It looks like he's going to not make that pass. Ooh, going to try to stick it down here on the inside of turn 3. I saw a little bit of smoke. Maybe he had a little bit of looseness going up here in front. But it looks like Ken Baum Jr. starting to get a little bit of a lead between him and Kip Easley. Oh, big drive in there for Kip Easley. I was about to say.
Lane. Yeah, that's really going to start to eat up those tires if you drive.
Whoa!
You're really going to start to see the tires overheat. You keep driving into the inside lane like that. And he's going to re-attack again. Other than that, these tires are going to overheat. You're going to see him push to the outside lane here if he keeps trying to attack. If I was that 3-cheese crew chief, you're telling him, hey, maybe take it a step back. Let's calm down, get back in a rhythm. You know you got a fast race car, and it looks like he's going to get back into a rhythm here. That was a good roll in turn 1. But go back here. We got David Schmill Jr. He's passing everybody back here, Chris, as he's passed the 12 machine of Jimmy Barr and that 1 machine of Dylan Hastings in turn 1 and 2. And down the backstretch, he's following in behind Jaden Bingaman, who's also rolling his way up through the field a little bit. Actually, excuse me, he's only up 1 position.
Yes, it looks like we're just kind of cycling through the field here, looking at who's got a close battle as we see. Whoa, it looks like maybe Dylan Hastings got into the wall there a little bit. I saw him fall back. Whoa! Saw him fall back just a couple of positions, but it looks like he's getting a little loose. We know these tires can get very, very testy after about 10 laps here at Richmond. So like I said, you know, it's just going to kind of cycle through and see how everything goes. I think Kip Easley blinking out a little bit, seeing the SDK kind of have a little bit of an issue. But see, he's still on track right now, so that's good to see. But everybody looks like they're kind of single filed out here up in the front. I see William Brown up 2 positions. It's good to see the Team Sparkle Unicorn guys having a little bit of good luck, Josh. You know, we've normally seen them have a lot of bad luck, so looks like William Brown. We always know William Brown, though. He's a short track ringer. He's always been a short track ringer.
A good driver, too, as well. Like you were saying, good showing for the Team Sparkle Unicorn guys. Just haven't been able to put it together here really these last couple of weeks, but a good finish here at Richmond can really get the team vibes turned back around, as you see. To the inside. Oh, caution's out, Chris. We got caution.
Yeah, it looks like Andrew May.
Oh, not good. We'll have to check in on that.
Oh, Matthew Fitz around. Yeah, I see Stan Mayberry, Matthew Fitz, Andrew May, and Bill Hayes. Oh, a lot of smoke there on the track. We'll go back here and see. Looks like Andrew May might have been the first one to go around here, right on board here with that 22 of Andrew May. Whoa, as you see the 38, he had a really big check up there. Whoa, might have had a issue with a tie rod or something.
No, it looks like he just stepped on the gas just a little bit too early, Chris. And what you know how that does. Steps up the or spins up the rear tires. You just get a little bit loose, especially in these newer generation cars. They're not as easy to save as say the Gen 6 car, the Gen 4 Arca, whatever it may be that you drive on the platform. They are a little bit harder. Bigger tires, a little bit harder to save sometimes in those very, very snap steer situations. But overall, I mean, it could have been worse. But we'll see. We'll see the race continue.
Yeah, as you see, just coming out of the corner. Yeah, there you go. You saw it just snap there a little bit. Oh, unfortunate there for the 22 and who was that? The 22 Andrew May. He just really had nowhere to go in that situation. Matthew Fitz had also nowhere to go in that situation. Unfortunate.
Yeah, who was that collected into the side of Fitz right there? In the top lane. It looked like somebody hit Fitz on the inside lane. It didn't really pick it up in that camera view all the way.
Let's see if we can go back and check out. As you see here, like I said, 22 nowhere to go. Fitz nowhere to go. See,
it's that 61 car. I think it's the 61 machine.
There you go. You see
Maybe
the 48.
Not. No, it's the blue car coming in.
See the 48 of Stan Mayberry getting in the back of the 68. Just unfortunate for Stan Mayberry as well. He's also, a good solid racer. Just always gets caught up in the mess.
Hey, I mean, in a track like Richmond, Chris, it's really easy to get caught up in the mess. So unfortunate for Stan. I mean, that's one of those things that, especially depending on your setup, it can be really hard to see that outside lane up against the wall, diving into the corner. So sometimes it's misjudgeable. Sometimes it's just. You don't see it. Sometimes, these deals happen. So unfortunate for Stan, unfortunate for all the drivers involved there. But we should get back to racing here in just a moment. I think that caution replay there might have burned up these 2 laps.
Yeah, it looks like caution lights are off.
As Ken Baum Jr. is your leader. He did take the lead over from that number 8 machine of Kip Easley. You see Matthew Fitz getting out of the pit road there. I don't think he stayed on the lead lap. He is in 27th position, a lap down. So just trying to take as much repairs as he can, thinking it could be one of those nights that cautions stack up. And if you wreck here in these first 20, first 30, even the first 50, I would say, at a track like Richmond, if the cautions begin to stack up, Chris, it's one of those nights you can come back from. So for your drivers that were in accidents that don't have too much damage, they could definitely come back, but we'll see some green flag racing for sure coming back as a big restart from that number 2, that Toyota Camry. Ken Baum Jr., he's getting off to a great start And so did Susie. He's going to go to the inside lane there, that number 8 of Easley, and he's looking to take over that second position. That Nitro 81 machine looking to get himself up there and possibly in contention for this lead. And speaking of Nitro, here comes Kyler McCarthy in that 24 as well. Kip Easley going to go to the inside lane.
I was about to say the same thing, Josh. That 24 machine, he is knocking on the door of that 8 machine. He is trying his best to get around. You know, oh, caution's back out. Let's see. It looks like Stan Mayberry around.
It's one of those things that it can happen here to short track.
And it looks like
they can just stack up and stack up.
And it looks like Stan just having an issue getting started. Oh, you see it. Oh, unfortunate. Looks like maybe Matthew had a little bit of an issue there. Got a little loose coming off the corner. Stan was going a little slower than Matthew thought, and he just got loose. And you see, that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, Chris, as we'll go back on board with our leaders here. As you did see that caution right there at lap 14, as it'll be lap number 16 now. And, you know, for the drivers that are off the lead lap, they're loving this. They're thinking, hey, bring them on. Let us go down pit road, get some repairs, come back out, and then we can fight for a chance to stay in this thing possibly. But I don't think we're going to have any takers down pit road right now. Yeah, it looks like everybody did get their repairs pretty much done. So now everybody is just pretty much racing for that that position again, trying to get back up there and get some time gained back.
Yeah, that's you know, right now it's just going to be everybody trying to get settled in. You know, it looks like we've actually had nobody down pit lane except for your couple of drivers. I think Bill Hayes, Robbie Weiss come down pit lane.
Somebody's the lucky dog right there.
Yeah, Andrew May. I want to say Andrew, that is the 22 of Andrew May. He is the lucky dog. So good to see him get that lap back. We know these turn 2 terrible guys. They're pretty good racers. They can get up there and shuffle it up in the lead. So it's good to see Andrew May get that lap back.
Good to see any driver get the lap back. You just want to see guys get out here.
A little bit of luck up there.
Yeah, he might be jumping down pit road here again.
Yeah, coming down pit road.
Pace lights should be off this next time by.
Yeah, pace lights are still.
Get back to some racing here. This is the perfect time if you're hanging out. Just join the stream. Go take off running. Show that 40-yard dash time that you had when you were in high school. It's time to go to the kitchen, grab a beverage, grab some snacks, because we're just getting resettled in here. And hopefully we'll get a good green flag run here, Chris. I mean, we were rolling there pretty good for the first 13 until we got that first accident. Then we got the second accident there. But it's one of those things. Sometimes at Richmond, once you get a caution, it takes two tries, 3 tries sometimes on these restarts to get it going back again. So that's official racing. So sometimes in these leagues, you can get the ball dropped and going, from that first restart. But it happens. You got a lot of guys trying to reset mentally. You're going to have some, quote unquote mistakes, I would say, mission a shift or whatever it may be on the restart. I mean, all these things happen. You get stacked up. I mean, you got to knock the rust off once you get into the race. So it's just one of those things. We'll see if they can get back going here and get some good racing. I'm excited to see this 81 and 2 battle it out here. They've had some pretty good racing so far.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Ken Baum Jr., I want to say he won the race last week. I don't have my stats pulled up in front of me. I'm sorry. I've had a busy week this week. Haven't had the stats pulled up, but it's been a really good race up here in the front. We're gonna see if that 81 Josh Masucci, we know he had last week at Coda. I remember him saying in the Discord, he was like, well, at least y'all made it a lap. I didn't even make it a lap. So it's good to see that 81 machine up here in the front.
Yeah, when I saw Coda on the schedule last week, I knew it's my week to not drive iRacing at all. Not being on the sim in close to a year, I was like, yeah, I'm not getting on and using Coda as my return track. I knew that would have definitely made me want to return the game. Ha, joke. But we'll see the pace lights turn off, Chris. That iRacing pace car going to make its way down pit road. That outside lane a little bit backed up here. As Kip Easley, he's going to try to restart off in that third position and see if he can give Susie a run for his money here. As Susie, he's going to run off, though, and he's going to fill that second place, but easily diving it back to the inside. But a good restart there from Ken Baum Jr., your leader. Really, really, really tight restart here from the 81 and 8. They're going to battle it out, but it looks like Kyler McCarthy is going to be the guy battling that 8 out. But we do know that 8 machine does drive it hard into turn 1 here. We'll see if he tries to use that maneuver one more time. And he has been getting loose, and sometimes on these caution tires, they can be a little cold cycled, so you got to get them back to temperature. If he tries driving it in hard, we could see him getting loose here. But it looks like so far under control, and that 8 machine, he's rolling.
Oh,
He's rolling
gunner
clean. He's
wall.
going to make that pass.
Looks like,
Oh, yeah, we got a big stack up back here.
Yeah, 26.
Cannon, 51, and Jaden Bingaman.
Jaden Bingaman getting, whoa, as I see back here, we got a lot of people getting loose. Big stack up here. Whoa, big loose there. Looks like the 26 of Jaden Bingaman, he is not having a good time on those tires right now. He is trying to get them, maybe got a little bit too much heat in them, got them heat cycled. Not, you know, he's got to cool them down because, man, right now they are getting really squiggly on him.
Something's happening, man, because those guys are racing back there. You see it stacked up 3 wide. It was almost 4 wide at one point.
Whoa, it's around.
Oh, we got a
Nick Cannon around.
That's Nick Cannon.
Yeah, Nick Cannon around, but it looks like he's gonna make it out unscathed. You know, you're gonna hate those tires after that, but hey, you know, at least you make it out, you know, with no damage on that car.
Yeah, and that's for sure right there, Chris. Exactly. No damage on the car. You kept the nose clean. You didn't hit anything. Yeah, the tires are going to be a little chewed up now to your liking on lap 23, but at least the front end of the race car is not gone, and you're still driving
Did he have a little bit of help? We're going to rewind it here. No, it looks like maybe
he might have gotten loose on corner exit.
Yeah, it looks like coming out of the
and
corner.
That's what gave him help from the 4.
Yeah, we see him getting loose right there. Yeah, he's already loose. So the 4 just good job there from that 4 machine to really get on the brakes, avoid it. You see Jaden Bingaman having to get on the brakes there too. Carson Pittman doing a good job to avoid that Nick Cannon machine. But you see Nick Cannon just getting down in the grass. He's gonna live to race another lap. Maybe not on those tires, but he'll race to he'll live to race another lap.
He's coming down to get a new set, Chris. Nick Cannon said, all right, that's all I needed to see out of those. But good save from everybody. Could have been a lot worse. We know when that lead car stacks up or, you know, starts getting loose, and then the field or pack behind you starts getting stacked up. Ooh, looks like Ryan Broderick missed his stall by... Is he still not in his stall? Oh, no, he's in his stall. Okay, it's just that angle. Looked like he was sitting in the 24, didn't it? But
yeah.
What I was saying was when you come out of turn 3 like that, even out of turn 2 coming down the backstretch, I mean, really at any track, when that lead car starts to spin like that, it can be one of those things you see a big stack up. But overall, a good job from everybody in the field, and we're going to keep it rolling here. It's going to be one of those things for Nick Cannon. It's heart rate jumped up a little bit, but other than that, I mean, you got to get back on the wheel, tighten those virtual belts up, and, you know, keep your head down and just keep digging. You know that, Chris. You've heard that from me plenty of times, and I'm in the mood for you.
Oh yeah. Whenever you're up on the spotter stand, you know, and I start getting flustered, you're just like, hey, calm down. You know, and that's what you have to do. You know, you might think, oh yeah, it's just racing, but you know, there's a lot of strategy that goes into this, and there's a lot of your concentration and your nerves that you have to put into it too. So you know, something like that can start to rattle you. You know, you can start negatively driving, you know, it can start negatively affecting your driving. You know, you could start overthinking what you're doing. Okay, I'm coming out of the, you know, turn 4. I don't need to get on the gas, you know, now. Then that can really start to affect the way you drive, and then you notice, you know, you start being careful and you start losing tenths to the guy in front of you, and then the next thing you know, you're running 2 laps down because you just, you know, you're under driving the car. So just gonna have to see how this affects him.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, it's more than welcome, and not in that situation, just really in that circumstance talking, you know, if you want to hang out for a lap or 2 to gain the confidence back, then you're more than welcome to do that. But once you really get into that 2 lap where you got to resettle yourself, it's time to go again. Because like you said, Chris, if you stay in your head, you stay in that space. I mean, next thing you know, you're 40 seconds down to the leader, and the name on the ticker in iRacing starts becoming red for the leader, and that's not what you like to see.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see at all, especially on a short track, you know, because, you know, a track like this
a lot faster than you think it can.
Yeah, you know, for people in the audience that are watching, you don't understand. Like, if you've never sat in a rig, like if you have somebody that you're watching right now that has a rig that you can sit down, just try it. Just try to sit down and drive a track like Richmond and try to be as fast as you can. You'll start to understand just how tricky and how fickle these cars are on a course like Richmond. You know, my dad, he used to always say Richmond's was my favorite track, and then, you know, I want to say he sat down on iRacing one day and he was like, man, this track is hard. And I was like, I told you, it's not that fun on these sims. You know, maybe back on the old PlayStation, but you know, on these sims, this track is a handful.
Yeah, iRacing is definitely one of those things that takes your enjoyment for the sport and throws it out the window because you start to feel what the drivers feel in real life. So it makes sense. So we'll see a pit road or pace car come down pit road. It's Ken Baum Jr. He's gonna hit that Geico restart, and you see that Denny Hamlin? That's how you restart here. As Ken Baum Jr. is gonna take the green flag, and we're gonna get back to some racing.
I see what you did there, but
Whoa!
whoa, Joshua
The 8 and the
Susi.
81 almost made contact.
Yeah, Joshua Susi getting a little low down on that quarter panel, but he's gonna keep it going through turn 2.
Hang on to her, Bubba. Hang on to her. The 81's saying, I got a boot scoot and boogie out of here. The 8 was trying to make it up for those last 2 restarts. He hasn't really had an effective restart. You know, he really wants to get back up there. The pole sitter, especially when you're the pole sitter, you want to get going. It's like a little chihuahua trying to bite some ankles. Just wound up and ready to go. So sometimes those pole sitters, when they lose position like that, it's another one of those mental games. It's, oh, it looks like Caution's back out.
Looks like Bill Hales, excuse me. Yeah, as you see, a lot of smoke, a lot of tire marks. Looks like him and Ryan Broderick. Maybe Ryan Broderick just having to get on the brakes. A lot of front end damage to that 53 machine. Let's go back and see what happened to him. See, whoa, already loose going into the corner. Yeah. He is just Tokyo drifting through it, and then a little bump there from the 5. And then you see just that, you know, where that banking transitions. You see the 51 Nick Cannon. Oh, unfortunate Nick Cannon getting into that. 22 Andrew May looks like he got through it possibly. Yeah, it looks like he got to see it all happen in front of him. As we'll ride on board here with
we
that.
Got drivers coming down pit road, maybe? No,
it looks like
I think SK just lied to me.
Yes, we'll ride on board here with that 5 machine. See what we can see from Ryan Broderick's point of view. As you see, already going into the corner, the 53 there, he is loose. He gets it straightened out there, and there's really nothing that Broderick can do at this point.
Well, he did have a car on his outside, and he had guys starting to race behind him, so
yeah,
he can't really go anywhere, like you said, Chris.
It's
not that the bump was malicious. It was just one of those, hey, I'm here.
And then you see the 51 is Steve Strittmeyer getting sent around. At least it looks like he might have just got a little bit of right or left rear quarter. Oh, as I say that, it looks like Nick Cannon gonna rear end Strittmeyer. So it looks like Strittmeyer and Broderick were Strittmatter, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get the names.
Yeah, sometimes we have drivers in here every week that we might not possibly have seen. So if we do still get some names confused, we do apologize.
It looks like Ryan Broderick, Bill Hales, Brett Strickler all came down pit lane. Looks like Dan DeGroot also on his way out. Looks like Stan Mayberry, he decided to park it. Actually, he's down for, it looks like 5 minutes right now. So, yeah, maybe taking some damage repair for that 48 machine. But it looks like right now he's currently the only one that's going to be sitting on pit lane.
I don't see where it says that he's parked the car completely yet, Chris. So.
Okay, maybe
he's still in the race.
Well, you know, maybe it could be one of those things where you're like, man, I just got to go to the bathroom. I'm just gonna, you know, take the belts off, just run to the bathroom, grab a soda, be like, hey, look, you know what, the front end's messed up, just whatever. Let's guys fix it, and you know, whenever y'all say it's good to go, I'll go back out. I'll go back out there.
He just could be possibly trying to get as much damage as he can fix, get out there and try to do what matters to some of these drivers, and that's score points for the championship. And that's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
You see Robbie Bice there in that 28 machine. So it looks like Jason Hand trying to catch up there in the double zero. That was who you saw in that outside lane there that was up against the wall before that, when that accident was happening. But it looks like Jason Hand got away with very minimal damage.
Yeah, it looks like Steve Strittmatter didn't get as much damage as I thought he did. I did see him get that, you know, that right rear tap and spin.
Know that these cars are a composite body. Everybody knows that. So they do take a little bit more damage. Not saying that they can take a big old crunch to the rear end and survive, but you know, with that, when they're spinning around like that, you got that chaos going, and your, you know, quarter panel smacking the quarter panel next to you a little bit. Instead of the old generation cars where you would just get that massive rip of the sheet metal in the body, in these composite body cars, you get a little bit more of that crunch and that cushion in a sense. I mean, it's still a race car. It's still going to get beat up, but there is still a little bit more room for error. Not much. Like maybe like a grass or like a sand particle. I don't know. Very small, more room for error, but you get the point. It can happen. I mean, you can beat them up just a little bit. But don't go out there and just smack the wall and expect to be okay, because with all the new damage models that they've been doing over the past 2 years. I mean, tie rods and everything, they break so easy. As we're going to see him hit the green flag and get back to some racing here, Ken Baum Jr., he's going to take the lead. And you know, Chris, breaking the toe link is never fun in a stock car.
Oh, no, it is not. It is not fun at all. Whoa.
Whoa, big drive in through the center of the corner from the 8.
Yes, I know Liam's probably sitting in there in the living room right now going, go Kyle Busch, but Liam, that's not Kyle Busch, Bubba.
That's Kip Easley.
That's Kip Easley. Whoa, as we're speaking, he's getting a little loose coming out of turn 4. But look at that. That's going to open up the door for that 24 Kyler MacArthur. He's going to take that outside lane. William Brown going to be on that back bumper of that 8 of Kip Easley. Let's see if he can make something work here. Whoa, you see everybody getting a little loose back there. It's the 29. Jeremy Zarfo getting a little loose back there. David Smill starting to work his way up, Josh.
Yeah, Smill is starting to get towards the front of the pack here. He's moved up 6 positions. As you see Pittman in front of him, he's moved up 9 spots. As it looks like.
Whoa, little loose there.
Whoa. Up there. We're 3 wide up there for 3rd position.
Going back up here on board with.
Whoa! Loose.
William Brown loose down there on the bottom, but luckily he had nobody down there. He could use as much track as he wanted.
Am I allowed to use the phrase William Brown might have just had a code brown there on the bottom lane, Chris, 3 wide coming out of Richmond?
Yeah, I think I would have had a code brown there.
I mean, you know what I mean? That's just one of those moments. Woo!
Yeah.
Number 3 Gamer Subs car. Look at Nilgis. He's in a slick-looking race car tonight. Haven't really gotten to see all the views of all the liveries too much. With all these drivers being so packed up, it's hard to see all of them, and that's a good-looking race car there that number 3's driving.
Yeah, we'll say.
You know me, I like those highlighter colors. So.
Oh, yeah, you know, I was going to say you love that. Whoa, big bump there from the 29.
Big bump there from the 29.
Big bump there to the 8.
Starting to say, let's go, Kip.
Yeah, Zarfos is like, let's go.
He's really starting to lose those tires, Chris.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking that same thing, Josh. It looks like Kip Easley just not liking those tires. Not liking those tires that are on that car right now. As everybody's not liking the tires that are on the car right now. Whoa, the 29 getting a little loose there. Let's see if he can keep it off the door. It looks like they're going to keep it off. Ooh, coming out of turn 4. That's the worst part. That's the worst part.
You don't know if the outside lane's going to get tight and hit the wall, if the inside lane's going to get loose and send everybody into the wall. It's just one of those things at Richmond, man. I love it. I love it. These guys are getting my heart race going, Chris.
It's the number 4. Carson Pittman going to dive it down on the inside of Jeremy Zarfos. Let's see if he can make it stick. Doesn't look like he's going to make it stick. Right now, this is currently your closest battle for position. Right now, Ken Baum Jr. just comfortably sitting in the lead. He's got to
say comfortably.
Yeah, I was actually about to say that.
He looks like he's starting to gain out of turn 2.
I was actually about to say that, Josh. It looks like he's starting to get. Whoa, as we say that, yeah, Susie into the wall.
Chris, it looks like Ken Baum Jr. from our 4 races that we've, 3 races, however many it's been since we've been back in full throttle. Ken Baum Jr. might so far be the driver to beat this season. Since we've seen, he is every track fast. Last week at Coda, fast. This week at Richmond, fast. I mean, the guy is just fast everywhere we've been. Same with Kyler McCarthy, and some of the drivers through right here in your top 10. You see them every week up there. Some of them just having, more unfortunate luck than others is, the 17 in front of Jaden Bingaman right there. Getting loose from Jaden Bingaman, give him a shot coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, Tyler Isley just not had any chance to calm down. As soon as he got that car straightened back out, Jaden Bingaman was like, hey, man, let's go. Whoa, as I see a little bit of smoke up there. It looks like Carson Pittman maybe Jeremy Zarfos getting into the wall up in front of him. Let's see there. Looks like we do have a lapped car. No, I say that. Oh, excuse me.
Is that Briggs Smoke behind, or that's David Smoke Jr.? Okay.
Yeah, this is David Smoke Jr. Yeah, I was trying.
I thought it said 57. And I was like, wait a second, am my timing messed up?
Yeah, no, my timing kind of just had a moment there. That's why I kind of froze. I was like, wait a second, I got it.
Yeah,
why is it saying that?
I think we both had that. I was looking over like I'm confused.
Yeah, no, I think the timing.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. It happens. But Chris, I would like to inform you, Stan Mayberry unfortunately has hopped out of the race car. He has called it a night.
No, that's unfortunate for that Stan Mayberry machine. I've had the opportunity of racing with Stan, and I know we had a race at Talladega, and I want to say we finished first and third. And man, he was all over my back bumper. And when he has his days,
big into the wall.
yeah, I was gonna say big into the wall. But whenever Mayberry has his days, he can be a force to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah, he's an outstanding driver, Chris. Just unfortunate luck. I mean, he puts a lot of time into the sim. Just it's one of those things. I mean, in league racing, it can go 50-50 for you. I mean, think of it as a best-of-one sports game. Anybody can win. I mean, you never know who's going to be on that night. And, you know, when you get out here and you get yourself into a position, and almost, in a sense, you've got to put your race into other people's hands sometimes. These things can happen. I mean, and it does happen. You hate to see it for, you know, guys like Stan Mayberry, but it's just it's what happens in racing sometimes. You got to, you know, put your head down and hope you can come out next week swinging for the fences. And, you know, maybe he'll hit a home run here soon and get a good finish.
Yeah, I will say, plate tracks, he's a force to be reckoned with from plate tracks.
Man, I'm so excited for some plate tracks.
Yeah. Yeah, I am too. Because right now we're just kind of looking through the field. Looks like everybody's just kind of stagnated out, gotten single file. We do have a couple of cars that might be taking a little bit of a run, but it looks like everybody's kind of single filed out. We're going to go back up here on board with that 2 machine to Ken Baum Jr. See, he's got
still
about
a 5/10 gap, though.
I was going to say he's still got a half a second gap between him and Joshua Susi. So Joshua Susi, Susi is showing that he
way faster out of 1 and 2, but Ken Baum Jr. is so much faster out of 3 and 4 is what it's looking like.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, there's, you know, I will say, you know, like, as somebody that's driven a lot of tracks, you know, done a lot of league races and stuff, I will say Richmond is a track that's really hard, you know, in, like, tracks like Iowa, you know, like, I know Iowa like the back of my hand. I can race Iowa really well. But, you know, like, you have to know how to hit those corners, you know, and that's the thing, you know, some corners you can't figure, you know, some corners you just can't figure out. You know, they're, like, maybe, you know, like if you had better tires, you can figure them out. But once you start getting on to, you know, we're lap 54 in here, and a lot of these guys haven't come down pit lane yet. So they're still running on lap 54 tires. These things, like we were saying last week, it's like driving on marshmallows. And, you know, sometimes you just can't figure out that line on those kinds of tires.
Yeah.
Oh, is Susi getting loose? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not trying to be his, like, coach or anything, but I don't know if he's rolling entry on corner in turn 3 too soon. It's making him pinch up to the outside wall. Something's going on with his machine in the turn 3. Yeah, there's just something not handling right with that 81 machine right now. Because it's a fast race car, but there's just something on 3 and 4 that's not agreeing with him. You know how light he's having to be on the pedal. I mean, yeah, with these older tires, he should be light on the pedal, but
it looks like going into turns 1 and 2, he's got it kind of, it looks like he's got, whoa, as I say that, getting a little loose.
Front end a little loose right there. So it could just be tire fall off, Chris, with the Susi machine. That's what I would expect.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. It looks like maybe tire fall off is just going to be where it's starting to affect that 81 is, you know, like we were saying, look at that Josh, Kyler McCarthy, that 24 machine, he's moved his way up into 3rd. William Brown still hanging on to that 4th position. Lucas Nilges, he's moved himself up 5 positions from that 10th spot into 5th place. Kip Easley, he's fallen back 5 positions. So he was in that lead position, but now he's fallen back to that 5th position, or the 6th position, excuse me. Jeremy Zarfos, he's fallen back 3 positions. David Smill Jr. up 7 in that 8th position. Carson Pittman in 9th. Jaden Bigeman in 10th. That's going to round out your top 10. You see Tyler Isley, he's moved himself up 8 positions. And then you see Briggs Swope in that 57. I love that. I want to say Lone Star. That's a good-looking car for that 57 Briggs Swope machine. Looks like the old Folgers machines, and I don't know why, but that just looks really good. In that 13th spot, it's Chris Lynn. You see Daniel Menzies in that 46 machine battling out with Chris Lynn. Whoa, door banging there. That 32 machine is Chris Lynn trying to hold up that 46, but
so Chris, it could be Mingus. That is one of those last names that I've heard 3 different pronunciations on. But I just looked it up again, and I'm getting Mingus. I want to stop butchering our man's name, so we're definitely going to have a talk
yeah,
with
we'll
him.
have to have a talk with him after the race.
So I want to say it's Mingus, which is, I think, what we originally were saying in the first race. But I think every week since then, we've been juggling his last name. So we're definitely going to have to get with it.
As we're going to just cycle here
or if
through
you're in
the
the
field.
YouTube chat, just put it in all caps and scream at us. Let us know what it is.
Yeah, please, let us know what it is.
I feel like I'm going to pull my hair out with some of the last names on iRacer, man. I thought my last name was bad, but then you get all these last names from, you know, so many different, you know,
nationalities
and countries, and oh, goodness gracious. Makes my head spin. I don't like it. It's
Look
like
at that, Josh.
grade.
William Brown making a move on the inside.
William Brown is going to make a move to the inside. He's going to make a power move. It looks like,
Whoa!
oh, no.
William Brown getting loose.
Save her. I was about to say he's going to make a power move. He was gassing up out of turn two. I was thinking if he clears him, that's a,
Oh,
I
not
was say he
machine.
was getting tight there for a second. I thought the 9 and the 8 were about to have a big moment. Looks like the 3, Colin McCarthy and Jaden Bingham going to make contact into turn 1. But it looks like so far they should be good.
Lucas Nilges, Josh.
Oh, that is Lucas Nilges. Excuse me.
It's Kip Easley. He's now under fire from William Brown. But Kyler McCarthy under fire from that 3 machine now. Let's see if he can make it stick. I did see that Kyler had somebody in the YouTube chat, so we appreciate you being there on the YouTube to watch the race. Whoa, everybody getting a little loose back there. Sorry, I was watching that little bit of a battle going here back between these 3 guys. I was getting a little confused. But you see the 29 of Jeremy Zarvos, he's working the inside there. Kip Easley is not liking these tires. Whoa, was I say that? Really on the inside.
Contact. Caution out. The 8 around. Whoa, here comes the 26 of Bingham, and he's not going to make contact, though. As it looks like, the 8's going to go around, and this should for sure, right, spell pit road, right? Everybody should come down pit road, correct?
Yeah, I would think right now would be the time to come down pit road. As you saw it, we were on it as it was happening. Woo-wee. You see right there, that 29 machine just getting...
I got to say, please remember to rewind when you return, Chris. Blockbuster told you. You got to get it back there so we can see the whole wreck. Nah, I'm just messing with you.
As we're going to go slow-mo here and just look, it looks like he was coming...
I would say easily might have been coming off that top lane to try to block the momentum of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like maybe easily might have been just...
You know me, Chris. I'm not for pointing fingers and saying, he's at fault or he's at fault, but realistically, I don't know if the 29 could have done much else. It looks like the 8, yeah, he was shooting for that gap right there, and I think he underestimated the momentum that the 29 of Zarfos was carrying. Oh, Chris, everybody's down pit road. If you want to hop on that race down pit road. It looks like Ken Baum Jr. did make it into pit road way before everybody, so he should for sure come out as your leader, unless we see some right side onlys and some gas, but it looks like so far everybody is going to take 4 tires and fuel at lap number 67 as you get on pit exit here. And it is going to be the 81 coming out in second, Ken Baum Jr. in first. You see the 9 of William Brown. Then there comes the 27 machine. That's Davis Mill Jr. Then you got Jaden Bingham. He's out. The 29, the 51. That's the 67, the 46. I don't know who that was because some of the cameras that you're using are blinking cars for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I do notice a couple of cars are blinking for me as well. It might be an iRacing issue. I do notice sometimes the iRacing, the cars will blink in and out just for like a split second.
Yeah, it's very confusing to me because I have draw all cars on and everything, but in some cameras I just, like especially when you're doing the caution cameras. My caution cameras now tonight have been working, but I'm not seeing any of the cars wrecking. I see the car that you're focusing on, and then everybody else is blinked out for me, so... If I seem a little bit hesitant on the caution callings tonight, I do apologize. I don't know why my SDK is doing that. It's just one of those things that
maybe it's been an update that there's a button that I'm supposed to push.
Yeah,
or
maybe
something.
I mean, it has been close to 2 years since we've called, so.
Yeah, SDK could be a little different with something as you see the 22
Heck,
machine coming down pit lane.
Speaking of everything changed, I mean, the whole platform pretty much changed the time we were gone from calling last, Chris. I mean, everything feels pretty much different, and then with this past update getting the all new UI and everything, I feel like I'm on a completely different platform. I don't feel like I'm on iRacing anymore. It feels crazy and all new and advanced.
See the 22 Andrew May coming down pit lane. Maybe got a lap back, decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pull it down pit lane. We see the 69 there. Giggity of Matthew Fitz.
There should be your guys getting the free pass here in a second. Or not free pass, but at least the drive around.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Fitz and them stayed out. They didn't come down pit road. I didn't look. Let me see. Yeah, those guys didn't come down pit road, so the pace cars who picked them up or the pace car picked them up, So they will get the pass around here. They won't get their lap back, right? But they'll get the pass around?
I'm not sure.
Or make them drop to the back of the pack. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've done this.
They're
getting the pass around. I was about to say, it's been a minute. Man, I I feel like I've never watched racing before. I'm having to second guess myself over here. Thinking, are they going to get the pass round? Or are they going to have to drop to the back? But no, if they had to drop to the back, it would have done it on what, the second lap, first lap?
Yeah. It would have been. No, it would have been when the yellow, like just then, like whenever the caution
I
lights
remember
come off.
there were sometimes you'd have people yelling in the chat and officials, "Hey, where's the 4 car? Can you pass me?" Screaming at people, and then you'd hear them get a black flag, and they just start screaming words that we're not allowed to say. But you know, when you're in there listening to it, it's amazing. I love it. But we're about to go back to some green flag racing here. Fresh tires for the field. Woo! A little bit of a bump. As he's going to get off, though, cleanly is Ken Baum Jr. going to take the lead here. William Brown going to shoot to the inside here. We could possibly have a battle for a second here between Josh Susi and that William Brown machine. Which, if I sound like I'm saying the word sushi, I am definitely trying my hardest to say Susi. But I am just very Southern. So if it comes off wrong or sounds like it, I guarantee you I'm trying my hardest to say his name correctly.
Speaking of that 81, it looks like he got a little loose, got up into that wall, but he's going to keep going. I did see a little bit of a wiggle there from that 81, but William Brown.
He's loving these new tires, Chris. We could possibly see him get back into a rhythm. That is your pole sitter. We know he's the fastest guy out here in single car pace. We'll see if he can get this race pace transmitted into that, or get that qualifying pace transmitted into the race pace a little bit and get out here and try to pass some of these cars.
Big drive in there.
Oh, caution is out.
Yeah, it looks like Brody Green.
Ryan Broderick had anything to do with it. I want to say Ryan Broderick was coming off pit road. So
yeah, it looks like Brody Green. We'll just rewind it from here. See what happened with that 91 machine.
Oh, it looks like he got loose on corner exit. Unless I don't see the ones. The one might have hit him.
It looks like maybe, well, you see right there, it looks like the 51 might have checked up. You see right there, the 51 gets loose. Maybe that's...
The 51 got loose, but I don't think that had any... I don't know if that had anything to do with the 91.
I'm wondering if...
like he got out of it.
Yeah, I don't see
he got
any...
loose too. He's loose too right there. So yeah, I mean, I think he got spun.
Yeah, and then...
Possibly. It could have just been one of those coming up out of the corners. He could have barely stepped out of the throttle. We don't know. We can't see their inputs like that fully in replay mode. You're not allowed to see your inputs, so he could have stepped out of the gas just a little bit, Chris, as a reaction, and that could have caused the one machine to kind of wipe him out there. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. That's a tough one there for me to judge.
Oh, big drive. Big miss there from the Zuver machine.
Oh, yeah, as you see it, it's a beautiful camera view right there as he goes around there. Hate to see him wreck, but you love to get an opportunity to use those camera views to their full potential, right?
Yeah.
As we'll go back live here. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I would have to see the inputs. I mean, it didn't really seem like he hopped out of the gas too hard, but it's one of those things from another driver's perspective. You can see those checkups a lot more from that first-person view, you know, compared to the third-person view a lot easier. So, and, you know, for some reason, these things have brake lights, but they never work, you know. That's a joke. Don't take me serious, please. You know, and it could have been one of those things that, like you said, the 51 got loose, Chris. That caused, you know, the other guys behind him to kind of check up for a minute, and that's what spelled disaster there. But overall, I wouldn't say it was the worst wreck that's happened tonight, but
it looks like Ryan
it's definitely
Broderick.
Annoying.
I'd say Ryan Broderick back down pit lane.
Did the 96 actually keep his position on track? He's who just went around, correct? Zuver.
Yeah, he went around. Zuver went around.
And
Broderick. I mean, excuse me, Brody Green. Unless it happened right before the caution, like he got the position and then the caution popped.
I think I just might be confusing people here right now. It's one of those nights for me at a short track. I feel like I'm putting drivers in positions they haven't been in tonight sometimes, so I apologize about that. Sometimes in these short tracks, man, it's like spinning around in a circle. I mean, you are spinning around in a circle, literally, but it's like when you were a kid standing in the kitchen spinning around in a circle and your mom would tell you don't do that because you're going to confuse yourself and then you're going to get hurt. I'm confusing myself and I'm getting hurt because I'm saying things that I don't know if they're right. But I do know what is right, and we're about to get back to some racing here in a moment, Chris. And if these guys up here in the lead keep digging like this, I mean, Ken Baum Jr., I mean, I think it's going to take to pass Ken Baum, him making some type of mistake, or the car just dramatically falling off here as we transition into the nighttime. I mean, you already see the massive amounts of shade we have on the track compared to what we had 45 minutes ago. So it's just one of those things. Once we get here into the night cycle, which I know these drivers are smart, they're not dumb. They put weeks and hours and days or however long it may be of preparation into these races, getting the cars set up, getting them feeling right, you know, making sure when the transition does happen in the nighttime, the car just doesn't absolutely fall off. So I have complete faith in that Ken Bomb machine, and he's going to be able to keep pace, but you never know, Chris. You never know.
Yeah, you know, there's been plenty of times that I thought, you know, hey, you know, whenever it gets to the cool part of the track, you know, I always, you know, the hot part of the track was whenever I was my worst. Whenever the track would start cooling off, that's whenever I felt like was my best. But at Richmond, I feel like no time of the day is good for me. This is a hard track.
As they're going to hit the restart zone, green flag is back out. Ken Bomb Jr., another explosive restart from him. As that 9 machine of William Brown, though, he does have his nose on the inside, Chris. And this is going to be, 81 had to get out of the gas. He rolled the corner way too fast, got up in the outside lane, so he had to step out of it. As we got some cars loose, 16 into the wall back there. 12's around as well. Looks like caution is going to come back out. Little stack up here.
See the 35 there. Jimmy Bard getting around. Chad Engel having to slam on the brakes. Got a little bit of damage there to that 12 machine from that. We'll just back it up here.
I said 16. That is definitely a 12. From far away, that like a 16. Well, that's a 46, you ding-dong. That's what I saw. Okay. I was like, where did I see a 16? I looked over the scorecard. I was like, we definitely don't
Okay,
have
so yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
you see,
got into the wall.
See the 46 of Daniel Menzies. I'm going to say it that way, and if it's wrong, I'm sorry. But you see the 46.
It's one of those last names I've gotten like 3 different pronunciations for. So
yeah, you see him getting into the wall there.
Or 2. Menzies and Ming. I already forgot what I looked up.
Yeah,
he
you
gets
see
into the wall though, and big shot there to the outside wall.
Yeah,
Chris.
Jimmy Barr just nowhere to go.
When he dodges them, you know what it's like when you dodge and then you make that really quick, sudden move. Just the car wants to do that snap. But for the 46 to get into the wall, I'd say he made it out fairly okay.
Yeah, look at Robbie Bice. He just threaded the needle on that one, Josh. We're right on board here with Robbie Bice. Look at it happening from it. Ooh, see all that smoke. Just threading the needle there.
Yeah, that's one of those you stop breathing for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, take the wheel, my friend. I mean, please get us through this. That's what I think of super speedways, because I know I'm not making it. And there's going to have to be some divine intervention to get me through a crash sometimes, because I just hold the gas down and I pray.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is there.
Racers. You know, there's some people that check up. They want to save that. They want to save that I rating. But for me, I'm one of those people. If I see the gas or the smoke popping up, I'm slamming on the gas. I'm like Cold Trickle. We're making up for some positions, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way, Josh. You know, it's one of those things that on a super speedway, if you let up off the gas, you can fall back, 6, 7, 8 positions. So you just have to stay in it, And I know a lot of the wrecks, you go back and you watch it in hindsight, and you're like, oh man, I could have lifted there, but in the heat of the moment, unless you're sitting in that sim rig, or it's not real, but unless you're sitting in that sim rig, of course, and you're watching what's going on, you really can't, you can't make any judgments on it. We can't say, oh well, they should have did that or that, because like you said earlier, Josh, being a part of this, those wrecks like that, they happen so quick that the best thing to do is either stay on the gas and just try to make it through, and hope that you can not rear end or knock somebody, 3 states over, or slam on the brakes and hope somebody behind you sees what's happening in front of you too and doesn't rear end you as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of just hoping when you're wrecking at a track like this. I hope he doesn't hit me. I hope he sees me. I hope he doesn't, get involved into this, whatever it may be. So, you hate to see the accidents, though, Chris, for some of the drivers that have been, showing some promise here. I'm not saying that we want to see people that aren't showing promise wreck, but you know what I mean? It's one of those things of, when you got a fast driver out there, you want to see him try to be more competitive, and then when they get caught up in the mess, it's just like, well, that stinks. That was a really good race car that had the potential to possibly run top 5, top 10, possibly even win the race, depending on the circumstances. But
You know,
when you get caught up in something like that, you hate to see it.
A driver like that, Josh, the 88 of Nick Cannon. You know, he's a fast driver. You know, he's been one of those drivers that we've watched for many a times, you know, in the Full Throttle series, and we know that he's fast, and he's just one of those drivers that just gets caught up in the mess.
Each other in the inside and outside lane.
I see
this
that.
This 9 machine of William Brown really wants to race for this lead. I mean, he
Whoa,
got a great
good jump.
restart.
Good jump from William Brown. He timed Kim Baum's timing perfect.
This is going to be a big drive in from the 9.
Oh, let's see if the 9, he's going to stay tucked down on that 2 machine's door, but he just let it go. Yeah, he just let it go. He's like, you know what, it's not worth it.
Here on the inside lane. But man, that just shows how tough it is to pass Ken Baum, dude. This guy is just a robot out there.
Whoa, is Jaden Bingaman having an issue?
Jaden Bingaman, yeah, he might have had an issue there.
Yeah, it looks like he was having a little bit of issue. I saw him dropping on the scoreboard there. Whoa, is Robbie Bice getting around?
Inside wall, he made contact.
As it looks like green flag's going to stay out.
I don't see any damage. Did he? Oh, no, he hit the wall with the left rear.
Go back on board here with that Ken Baum machine. As it looks like, as I was saying that, Josh, I saw Jaden Bingaman just jump up 2 spots. So he's slowly starting to claw his way back. Whoa, as it looks like Dylan Hastings getting into the wall. Maybe, no, it wasn't Dylan Hastings, excuse me. He's on the inside. That would be Jeremy Zarfos. He got into the, no, I'm sorry, it was the 35 of Chad Engel that got into the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the 35 of Chad Engel that got into the wall. We're going to ride back on board here with William Brown. Joshua Susi, you see him behind him. Riding all over that back bumper. He wants to get around William Brown. I was expecting a little bit of a.
I ain't trying to wreck him. I'm just trying to rattle his cage in a big run.
I was about to make an Earnhardt statement there, Josh.
Caution's out.
Caution is out. It looks like Michael Zuver. Yeah, that 96 machine backed into the front straightaway. Also seeing Brody Green having a little bit of issue. We'll back it up here and see what happened with Zuver. Looks like Zuver just round on his own accord. Looks like, oh yeah, you see him just big drive out of turn 4. He got on the gas.
That's a Camry. Right? A Ford, not a Camry. Why did I say a Camry? I meant a Ford.
As you see, just he got into the corner. You can see it, and I'll call it out right when it happens. You see him roll in the corner right there. And he's like,
as soon as he's getting to the
right there, he gassed up on it, and he was like, all right, I got it. And then he saw the 38 on his outside, and it's just, you know, it's one of those things where you just misjudge what's going on. And I also see, I was going to say, I saw Brody Green also around, so it looks like he might have went around off of the, you see, just trying to avoid,
It looks like we did have a couple cars that come down pit road, Chris.
Yeah, Kyler McCarthy down pit lane.
Jaden Bingaman, Jeremy Zarfos.
Yeah, no, Jaden Bingaman down pit lane. Jimmy Barr down pit lane.
Why did you say there were so many people down pit lane and then it just changed for me? That is weird, man. This live timing is gonna make me sound like a liar a lot, I feel like.
You see Jeremy Zarfos, Kyler McCarthy, Jaden Bingaman down pit lane, Jimmy Barr, Daniel Menzies, Michael Zuver, Andrew May, Brody Green, Robbie Bice, all down pit lane. Don DeGroot, I want to say still in pit lane, for a minute. And I see Nick Cannon on pit lane for 10 minutes. So I think Nick Cannon's doing what Stan Mayberry did. Might be going to the bathroom, seeing if they can fix the car just so he can get out and race with his Sparkle Unicorn teammates. We see everybody getting out, but right now we're going to go back up here with Ken Baum Jr. as he's still out in the lead. He wasn't in the lead when he started, but he's definitely in the lead now, showing that he is the car to beat. Joshua Susi, he's trying his best to get up there and mix it up. He got around William Brown. You saw him almost giving him the Earnhardt bumper to get around of him coming out of turn 3 and 4. So you saw, looks like maybe William Brown having to check up out of that corner, and that gave that 81 the chance to get around him. But right now, David Smill up 11 positions. That 27 machine moving his way up through the field. It's good to see him. up here in that 4th position, and then you see Kip Easley. He's fallen back to that 4th position. Was originally your pole sitter, but now currently sitting in that 5th position. And also, like Josh said, Josh, do apologize if it does sound like I am saying sushi. Like he said, just our accents and everything. I'm trying to say sushi, but it might sound sushi. So if it does sound like that, it's not. I promise. It just comes out that way, and I do apologize about that. But hey, green flag's about to come out. This is where it's going to start getting fun. We're almost 100 laps into this race, so the halfway point is about to come up. You know, and this is going to be where everybody starts trying to do a strategy play. You know, if we have a green flag run from here, we see a lot of drivers getting a little loose, trying to get these tires under control, getting out of the corner exits, because like we were saying, unless you drive this track, you don't understand the banking transition from this corner. You can kind of see it here, but if you were to look down the wall, like right here, you can actually see it from this camera. You see how much it does a swoop down. It is a big banking transition, and if you get on that gas just a second too late, or early or late, it can really spell disaster. And we've seen a lot of drivers, losing the rear ends of their cars because of that.
The inside lane got a good restart. It looks like that 81 machine might have been caught sleeping a little bit.
Whoa, William Brown getting a little loose on that inside lane.
But that's going to drive Susie up the track. William Brown's going to get around, but look at that. Kip Easley to the inside. He's looking to try to make up 2 positions here. Ooh, he had to step out of the gas. He's right on board here with him. That's David Smill Jr. to his outside in that 27 machine. You see the 81 of Susie and that 9 machine. Oh, looks like caution is. Oh, you can see it back there in the camera.
Yeah, it looks like Bill Hayes.
There towards the back of the pack.
Yeah, it looks like Bill Hells. Excuse me, I say Hayes. It's I don't know why I see it as a Y, but it looks like it was Bill Hells. Oh, Robbie Bice around. I see Robbie Bice into the wall there. And I want to say that was also Brody Green that was involved in that. Yeah, that was that 91 of Brody Green. As it looks like it happened up in front of him. Oh, is the camera changed? Let's see if we can see. Okay, so it was the 53 of Bill Hells that got sent around. And then, oh, you just Bingham in with a hard hit. Yeah, and then that's what sent Robbie Bice around. Oh, see if he can lock it up. A little bit of a love tap into the wall, and then he gets nope, the 91 not going to bump into the back of him. But yeah, we saw Bill Hells getting sent around, and that's what started the whole chain reaction there. He's coming out of the corner. Yeah, you see him just dive down there. The 46, really nothing that he could do. You see the big stack up there between all of them. But we do have Jeremy Zarfo's down pit lane, Jaden Bigeman, Jimmy Barr, Andrew May, Brett Strickler, Robbie Bice, all down pit lane.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple drivers come down pit road this time. But it looks like it is just those drivers that are involved in that accident. At lap 99, they will take the restart at lap 101. They should. So when we restart, we'll be under 100 or at 100 laps to go. And that is, like you said, Chris, we're really, I think we're going to see the drivers start to try to settle in a lot more. I mean, it's one of those things of everybody's been on a strategy. It's not like they've just come out here and within the last 100, they go, all right, now it's time to play the game. And it's not been one of those things, but it has been probably just like you said, hanging on, trying to make what's best out of the race. And then now that we're into this aspect, you've got to really try to get into that flow, because this is where it matters. If you wreck here in the last 100 and get a lap down, your race is probably over here at Richmond. It's starting to get into crunch time, and get into your flow. Try to get your last second passes made here soon, and get yourself a position that can get you really good points, or possibly go out there and get you a podium or win the race.
Yeah, well, and to touch on what I was saying, it's one of those things that, it's not that. I'm trying to think of a way to word it. You don't want to. It's not that you can get out and wreck and have a good race, but the thing is the first 100 is still, that's where you're just kind of trying to get the feel for your car. You want to understand how the car is working underneath you, how the tires are going to work, and then that last 100, that's where you're like, okay, I've kind of got a feel for the car. Now I have to attack. It's not that you're not attacking that entire time. You're just trying to get the feel for that car. And yeah, you can spin and you can spin out and go to the back of the pack and still work your way up. But and it comes down to one of those, like, you just saw with Robbie Bice and everything. That's where, if you have, a lot of hits to that front end of that nose, you're going to start having cooling issues. And, and then the next thing you know, you've blown an engine because, you got a cooling duct that's, pinched shut.
Yeah, exactly, Chris. I mean, this is the last 100. This is where we're going to see drivers really say, all right.
Whoa! As I see Brett Strickler
what?
going around back there at the back. What in the world?
Well,
Yeah,
we're about to go back green flag racing, so.
Oh, it looks like it just got a little loose back there. Okay.
No way. That's unfortunate. Maybe we're not going to go. Did they extend the caution?
It looks like they might have extended the caution because of that. Yes, it looks like, just a little bit.
Mark Martin did, what was it? Well, where did that happen? Where Mark Martin's steering box got locked up? And he just drove to the inside lane and took out him in the leader?
I remember, yes, I know what you're talking about. But unfortunately there for Brett Strickler. I know exactly what just happened to him, and
it was him and Jimmy Johnson. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I knew it was a super speedway. I just couldn't remember which one. So yeah, it's kind of what happened there. Just we'll say a steering box got stuck.
It was what we'll say.
You're off the hook this time. As here comes the restart.
Oh, Ken Baum to a good start.
I would say he's getting a bomb of a restart, Chris.
Oh! Woo! William Brown getting a little bit of a bump there. Yeah, I see Chad Engel and Matthew Fitz. Oh, as I saw, looks like Tyler Isley got locked up on the brakes. I saw it right as we were getting into it, but we'll go back and see what here happened with Matthew Fitz and Chad Engel. It's here on the restart. You'll see that 36 machine, 35 machine on that outside leg. Whoa! You know what happened? Just downshifted. I bet you that was a first gear downshift, and the rear end just came out from under him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not seeing the caution right now. For some reason, it's not working, so that's why my input is not being put in.
That's right on board here. Let's see. It's in second gear. Let's see if he switches down into first. Yep, first gear. That's what happened. Money shifted. Oh, that is unfortunate for Chad Engel. You know what, though, Chad? I can't say.
I've done the same thing.
I can't say that I haven't done it. The same thing. I can't say that I haven't done it.
I want to say it was Chicagoland in Xfinity cars like 3 years ago. I went to do a restart. I hit second, or I was in second, obviously started. Went to hit third, hit first, wiped out like 7 cars, because I think I qualified like 6th or 5th. So I wiped out like 7 cars behind me, and before the wreck was even over, I could hear so many people dogging me. I just hauled that forward. Never apologized, never saw any of the... I mean, I might have saw the guys in it. Maybe that's why people raced me so hard. They remember me from that race. I don't know, but, man, I remember I felt horrible after that happened.
Well, I used to be in a league called Chris Cup, and and I had maybe my second or third race. I had an issue with my shifter. When he would shift up into third, the shifter would go, "Oh, hey, you're shifting into first? Okay, cool. I'll shift into first." Well, no, I was putting it into third. And I think it was the second restart. I was in like third place. I was doing really good, and second, and then went to shift into third. And the next thing I know, I just heard whop, and then I was around and saw about 30 cars slamming into me.
Nice, gearbox impersonation there.
Yeah. That was my best my best gearbox impersonation.
Heard a lot of people do that over the years, let me tell you. Um, it's one of those things, Chris. Money shifts happen all the way from Honda Civics to $1 million drag racing to iRacing to everywhere. It happens everywhere. You can't get away from the money shift.
Yeah, and we don't know, like I want to say, do these because I haven't
Yes, they're sequential.
They're sequential. Okay, so I couldn't remember if they were sequential or.
But he also, some people do still use full sequential shifters. Some people still use just a normal H pattern, but just don't use the clutch. You just lift. Obviously, you still have to lift.
You can use a dog box in these, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. A shifter.
Okay, so then
other people still might be using like an H pattern, and that's probably what he's doing. And then he just missed the shift. With an H pattern, it happens.
I want to say that there was one race that I was.
That happens.
Sorry. Yeah, I want to say there was one race I remember somebody got a dog box and they said they forgot that like you were supposed to pull it down to shift into the gear, and they thought they were supposed to hit it up, and they went into they were in second and they hit their dog box up, shifted into first, money shifted. I want to say I've heard that happening.
I think I remember that happening.
Yeah, I want to say I remember that happening. It might have been a full throttle race. I don't know.
It could have been. I do remember there somebody saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just got the sequential and I hit it the wrong way." And it's like, man, you went all through practice perfectly fine, and we got in the race, and this is where you're gonna decide to, turn into a goofball. You love it. As we're gonna go back to green flag racing here, Chris, is that Ken Baum Jr. scene. He's not gonna get as hot of a start. Look at that outside lane though. David Smith Jr. really kicked William Brown off into the corner. Is that 81 and Susie to the inside? We've got a 4-car battle here for this first position.
Oh, is Susie getting a little loose? He's going to keep it underneath him. Let's see how big of a drive in. Yeah, William Brown going to drive it in there to the corner. Let's see if he. Oh, William Brown into the wall a little bit. Susie is going to get. It's going to open up the door for him. He's going to be able to take it to the inside here. We'll see if David Smil can move on the inside too. He looks like he's might have the drive out, but no, he's just going to go ahead and give it up. Let William Brown have that third position. Just say, you know what, I'm not going to eat these tires up too much right now.
Yeah, David Smil, he's sitting there beating on the back bumper of William Brown. He wants by. He's up 11 positions, started in 15th. He would love to finish in that top 3. But he's got an opportunity to go up there and win this race, or at least gain the lead and put himself in a position to win this race. He's in the position right now. It's anybody's ball game here for these first 5, 6, 7 positions. So it just depends on how these restarts are going to go and if we're going to stay green flag. But right now, so far so good. We'll hope that we can stay green flag and get some good racing, because I think this top 5 could have some pretty solid battles if they just get an opportunity to set into a rhythm here and really get the feel of each other and how each other's going to race around each other here in these later stages.
Yeah, because it's going to be interesting to see how David Smil starts acting once he gets up around his Nitro teammate, Joshua Susi. It's going to be weird to see how, if he's going to battle him hard for that second position, or if they'll just kind of cruise and try to attack Ken Baum together. But he's got to get past William Brown right now. William Brown doing a good job holding on to that third position. Ooh, as I say it, get into the wall again.
Fourth time he's hit that outside wall there coming out of 4.
Yeah, David Smil looks like he backed out of the corner just a little bit early.
It looks like David Smil is going to try to capitalize on William Brown's mistakes, but Kip Beasley, that 3 machine of Lucas Nilges, Carson Pittman, they're all back there still too. If something happens, they can capitalize and make up some big positions here with another man's mistake.
Yes, like you were saying, Josh, David Smil, he's beating all over the back bumper there of that 9 of William Brown. He knows he's probably a little faster in these corners. He's having to ride behind him, And it's not saying anything bad about, William, because I know William. But, just saying, it's one of those things where, you're just a little faster than that guy in front of you. He's just going a little slower than you want to. Whoa, as I say that, David Smil getting up into the wall just a little bit. So let's see if that helps out that 8 and that 3 machine behind him. It doesn't look like it. Big drive in there from that 27 machine.
As you ride back on board here, Chris, with Susie, look at him. He's starting to try to make it work. But every time they come out of 3 and 4, Ken Baum just puts about a 10th on him. And as they roll down here into turns 1 and 2, it looks like, I was going to say that Susie, that's where he's been making his game, but that's where he's going to almost lose 2/10 of time right there. As we go back here towards the back, Carson Pittman, he seemed to have some type of issue.
Whoa,
we
caution
got a
out.
car wrecking behind him.
Yeah, don't
Not sure who.
Don't see who it is just yet. It looks like Kyler McCarthy and Tyler Isley. As we'll go back here with Tyler Isley, see what happened here. Coming out of turn 2, we see Robbie Bice getting a little loose in the corner, nowhere for Isley to go. You see, oh, the 46 machine, the 24 machine, nowhere to go. No, Kyler McCarthy running up front all night tonight. It looks like just nowhere to go coming down that back stretch. You see Robbie Bice getting loose, 17, Tyler Isley, nowhere to go. 46 down into the bottom of the wall. You see Michael Zuver down there, and you see 24, he's trying to get past him, but there's just nowhere to go in that situation. The 91 getting locked up there.
Yeah, that stinks. It looks like from 10th position on back, we got a few drivers coming down pit road.
Yeah, it looks like you said, Josh, from 10th position back, Kyler McCarthy down pit lane. Got a lot of front-end damage on his car from that last wreck. Let's see if we can go on board here with Kyler and just watch what he saw from his point of view. You see everything getting a little mixed up, and like I said, you see that car, just nowhere to go. There's really nothing you can do in that situation. You know, you're coming down. Oh, I'm sorry.
Entirely your own, Chris. I mean, you can lift sometimes and hope you're going to make it by, but sometimes it's just unpredictable.
Well, see,
you
right
think
here,
you're going to make it, or you think you're good. And then...
Right here, this is I'm telling you what Kyler's thinking. He's like, I got this. I'm going to shoot this gap right here.
In his mind, he's shooting the gap. And
he's shooting the gap, but you see,
the track a little bit.
Bam. But see, and that's how fast it happens. You see that in your brain. You see that one little split second, and you're like, all right, I got this. And then the next thing you know,
what half of our league drivers here driving on triple monitor, VR, you know, whatever it may be. I mean, you might have a guy out here wearing a helmet and gloves for all we know. I mean, everybody wears the gloves though in sim racing. You got to look like a Chad. But if you're wearing the helmet, that's full dedication. That is full dedication. I bet you're sweating too. Because these short track races, man, they'd make you sweat already. And if you're wearing a helmet, I bet it's miserable. Unless you got a helmet, one of those cool, like, you got like a full drink mechanism hooked up and everything in it, then I'm all down for that. Give me a little bit of Dr. Pepper, you know? 200 laps of just Dr. Pepper drinking, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like, as long as I have a good drink, I'm good to go. That's all that matters to me.
Exactly. You need a drink, and you need to be able to take your hand off the wheel for at least 0.2 of a second every lap to make sure your arms don't absolutely burn off every lap.
And don't vape and drive. That's all I got to say. Don't vape and drive.
If you're in an important league race running very solid and you can't find your vape or your whatever apparatus you use, do not try to grab it. Don't try to grab a phone. Don't try to grab a vape. Don't try to grab anything like that while you're driving. Because next thing you know, you're going to be in the outside wall. Just ask Chris.
Yeah. It happens. That's what I'm saying. You gotta focus up. You gotta stay focused in it. And if you lose that focus for just a second, you end up in the wall.
As we are rolling down the back straightaway here, Chris. 122 laps out of 200 complete. If we get a good green flag run here, this race should go by pretty quickly. But if we keep seeing drivers getting into accidents, we could be here for another 30 minutes trying to reorganize this ordeal. 30-plus minutes trying to reorganize these guys. I mean, it's one of those things you hate to see when you're at Richmond, especially when you got a fast race car and you think, oh, I'm starting to make the gains on that leader, and getting in those restarts, really starting to kill not only the run that you're having, but the mental fortitude that can also negatively affect your later run. Oh, look at that. Susie, he's going to get really wide to the outside. And William Brown, seems like that's been the restarts here for them. It's just, let's race for a couple laps, and then possibly Susie's going to get by here again.
Yeah, what I was going to say, Josh, you know, you're starting to see, looks like maybe the back of the pack now is starting to see Ken Baum's starting pattern. Because I'm starting to notice that they're starting to keep up with him on these restarts. They do lose, you know, Ken Baum will start to run off and leave them there, you know, halfway through the lap, maybe, you know, a lap later. But, you know, for that first lap, they are starting to get that jump. Whoa, William Brown getting a little loose on that inside lane. Not liking the lane where he was at. He got on the gas just maybe a little too early. Got a little loose, had to get out of the gas then. So that's going to open up the door there for that 27 to David Smill. Whoa, look at that. Josh Carson Pittman into the, the 51 of Steve Strittmatter into the wall. Got a little loose back there. And into the wall again.
Into the wall again. He's just trying to get every spot on the track. They're just like a game of, you remember Tony Hawk where you had to paint paint wherever. You had to do all the motion tricks.
Yeah, he just had to sleep. He's just trying to give high fives to the wall. That's all he's doing. Pay him.
He's trying to take much of the track as he can so he can win that. Hey, I hit the wall here and here though, but you might have won the race. But I hit the wall like 6 times, dude. That's pretty cool.
You know, I always say it's just like playing patty cake with the wall.
Just going out there and touching it. You got to let the wall, though. You're there sometimes, man. That thing's intimidating. You can't let it sit there and intimidate you. You got to go up there and hit it sometimes and say, hey, I ain't scared of you, buddy. You know, go out there and give it a little high five, like you said. As David Smill Jr. talking about coming up into the high five, he's in the high five. The top 5, that is. He's rolled his way up into 3rd. Currently as it sits, but coming back on that outside is William Brown.
Yeah.
He's able to get himself up here into this 3rd position. I would say that that's the highest David Smill Jr. has been here tonight.
It's going to be the highest position. Whoa, is William Brown getting really loose? He almost cut the back end of that 27 machine off, but he was able to get around him. So maybe William Brown's starting to have a little bit of tire fall off here later on in this run. So that's going to open up the door for David Smill. Now he's in that 3rd position. Now the next position up is going to be his teammate, Joshua Susi. As right now you see the 8 machine of Kip Easley, he's going to get around William Brown. So now Carson Pittman having to get on the brakes there. Whoa! Carson Pittman getting really loose in this in that outside pocket. So he's just going to go ahead and give up that position to William Brown, fall back into that 6th position. William Brown, though, falling back to that 5th. I was going to say Carson. I was about to say, it looks like Carson Pittman starting to peek into that position. Right now, this is your closest battle for position to the lead, and then you see back there Ryan Broderick battling it out with that 5 machine, that 17 machine to Tyler Isley. Tyler Isley getting a little loose up into the door of that 5 machine. Woo, somebody getting a little loose here. Look at that, Josh, the 57 machine of Briggs Swope with a big drive out of turn 4.
He's going to really pull up to the back bumper of that 5 machine of Ryan Broderick.
Yeah, Michael Zuber on that inside lane, trying to block off that Briggs Swope momentum. Briggs Swope, though, with a really big drive out of there of turn 2. Going to be all over the back bumper there of Zuber, but it looks like just going to back off. Going to go ahead and let that 5 machine just file back in. Ryan Broderick going to take back over that 11th position, but I see up here in front, Carson Pittman now fighting with William Brown, getting loose. Woo, keeping it underneath him.
Starting to see those guys battle it out big time, Chris. That is for your 4th and 5th position there. Oh, it looks like Carson Pittman might have got loose because he saw the 9 of William Brown get into the walls. Yeah. He checked up a little bit, and that's what you just saw kill his run some. But it looks like he's going to re-drive it back down in that low lane. Carson Pittman really starting to try to get up there. He wants to work his way up into the top 5, possibly into that 3rd position if he could get a big enough run.
As I see Robbie Bice did go around, it looks like he went ahead and pulled the virtual tow truck out there and went ahead and quickly pulled his car back. But I do see that it said that he crashed, but I'm pretty sure he just got loose and said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and get out of these guys' ways.
It happens like that. When you've been in enough adversity, you just want to hop up out of that rig and be done with it. But it looks like Dylan Hastings, he's trying to find some type of life there on the outside track as he's trying to get around that number 3 car, that Lucas Nilge's machine.
Yeah, and like you said, Josh, that number 3 machine.
A little bit of, I was going to say, Chris, that one starting to make that outside lane work a little bit.
You know what? You were actually saying that. It looks like that outside lane did work very well for that 1 machine. That 3 machine looks so good. Ooh, it looks so good. Let's see right now, it looks like Briggs Swope battling for that position with that 5 machine. Looks like he might be having a little bit of fall off. It's going to open up the door there for that 5 of Ryan Broderick to get on that inside lane. But Briggs Swope riding the outside lane. Yeah, he had to check out of it a little bit. But going to have a big drive out here. Let's see if they get a good drive in here from the 5. He just backs out of it. Whoa, going to send him around a little bit. Whoo, the 32 machine he was just like, oh, goodness, don't do this in front of me right now.
Yeah, that could have been one of those moments, Chris, right there, where they could have just had a big upset. And I want to let you know what Nick Cannon is doing right now, because I have Discord for Full Throttle still open on my other monitor. And I just saw a massive amount of pictures be uploaded, and there were some very great pictures of there from the Richmond race. If you're a driver here watching the race and you haven't seen General Chat, when you get done watching the race, after it's all said and done, go check General Chat out, because Nick Cannon just dropped some very nice looking pictures in there.
Hey, I guess, if you're sitting in the pits not doing anything, might as well go start taking some pictures.
Yeah, that's what we're going to start doing. If you wreck out, you're becoming one of our track photographers.
As we're going to ride back up here on board with that Ken Bomb machine, just going to kind of cycle through the field here since we've kind of got a single file race going on. I'm looking through the ticker right now. Looks like Jimmy Barr and Ryan Broderick are your closest battle on track, and you see we're already in 14th, 15th spot. So, right now, everybody just kind of single filing out. We see that 38 machine of Brett Strickler. He is a lapped car, so he is currently not battling for position. But see Jimmy Barr in that 12 machine just trying to ride it out right now. I know he did have a big accident early on, and just trying, just trying to
recover.
Yeah, just trying to recover right now. But in that 14th position, not bad after having a big issue. But we're gonna go back up here up front with William Brown. You see, he's got that one machine of Dylan Hastings. Josh, let's start talking about that one machine now. He's already back up here in the front. We know he had a couple of adverse moments here tonight, and he's back up into the seventh position.
Can't remember who it was, but he did get into the back of somebody earlier. I can't remember, like I said, can't remember exactly who it was. But he is, like you said, been recovering. It's, when you get involved in accidents like that, whichever way it may be, your fault, not your fault. Not saying anything has been his fault, just speaking metaphorically. But when you do get into accidents, whatever it may be, it rattles you, no matter if you were at fault or not. So it's good to see that he's been able to, keep his head down, even though being in an adverse moment, and still dig. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, also speaking of, Josh, that 96 of Michael Zuver, we saw him have a lot of issues.
Top to the wall
yeah, a lot of issues. Still riding around in that top 10, so good to see Michael Zuver hanging out. Got 3 Sparkle Unicorns up in the top 10, so good show out for Sparkle Unicorns, even though Matthew Fitz and Nick Cannon sitting on the sidelines right now. Still a good showing for that Sparkle Unicorn. Right now we're going to ride up here on board. See Josh Susie still about a 2nd and 6/10 off of Ken Baum Jr., but about a 2nd off of him is his teammate David Smill Jr. So we'll see if he can get up here and start messing around, putting a little bit of pressure on his teammate. Like I said, I wouldn't say that he's going to go up here and start putting a Dale Earnhardt bumper to him, but hey, you never know. Some people can get kind of saucy.
When you're racing, I mean, I know all these guys might be teammates. You got guys that are teammates that are out there, Some teammates will say, hey, it's fine. Like not last week, 2 weeks ago, we saw the Nitro guys saying that, I'm going to let him get it this week, or I might let him get it, a position here or there. They talk about how they are a very team-centric team. But like you said, Chris, there's some nights that you want to get out there and you want to finish as best as you can, whether it's been a crappy last 2 weeks, whether it's been a crappy last month, or, you just want to get out there and finish good. You haven't had a good, solid finish. So, sometimes you see teammates get a little testy with each other, but that's what makes racing fun, right?
Starting to put time on him, though, Josh. As we've been talking,
to pull away from him.
As we've been talking, though, David Smill putting 2 10s on Josh Susie, so he's starting to catch him.
David Smill starting to catch him. I said Susie was pulling away. Excuse me.
Yeah, but behind them, Carson Pittman and Kip Easley, 2 Full Throttle teammates. They're going to be chilling in this 4th and 5th position. Don't know why I said chilling. I don't know why I said that. They're going to be cruising in this 4th and 5th position. And behind them is William Brown. So Dylan Hastings moving his way up, trying to get up into the, putting a little bit of a bumper there to William Brown. Hey, buddy, we need to get going. You're going a little slow. Whoa, a little loose there. Woo.
Big loose.
Yeah, big loose.
Now I'm just going to drive up to the outside lane and say, all right, man, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, but let's see if he can make it stick here going onto the inside. Dylan Hastings might be able to take over this 6th position. Dylan Hastings get up in this 6th position. He could really start putting a little bit of pressure on Kip Easley and Carson Pittman. Whoa, is saying a little bit of pressure. He's putting a little bit of fender into William Brown.
Yeah, they're definitely getting a little testy there for that 6th position, Chris. Like you said, Dylan Hastings is wanting to go. William Brown is trying. He's saying, man, just give me a moment. I got a handful of here. I'm trying my best. It's one of those things that here at a track like Richmond, tires start falling off when you're really racing up there for those positions a lot faster than you think they are. But whoa, speaking of falling off,
I was about to say,
what happened to Nilji's? He just came on a rocket ship out of turn 2. Is the one. Not sure what happened there. Maybe a bobble we didn't see, a slight bobble, had to get out of the gas, something.
I wonder if I wonder if Hastings had a little bit of an issue. Maybe you know, he's been trying to race that 9 machine and he's wore those tires out, got him heated up just a little bit. Whoa, as we're saying that, Nilji's getting a little loose back there coming out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. So, whoa, starting to maybe see the marshmallow effect starting to take, you know, take over on these cars, Josh. And now we're starting to lose. Whoa, as I'm saying that, Dylan Hastings all over the back bumper of William Brown.
He's all over the back bumper of William Brown, which is going to put him into the battle of Easley and Pittman. That's all over the back bumper of each other up there. Chris, we're starting to get a big race here for this 5th and 4th position.
Yeah, this is where it's all going to start coming down to. Now they're looking up. They say, okay, we've got 45 laps to go. We're going to have to go. And that's what, you know, we've got a green flag run. This is the longest green flag run we have had tonight. So, you know, this is where it's going to start coming down to, you know, who has the better strategy, who has the better tires, and who's hung on to their equipment most.
Oh, exactly, Chris. I mean, hanging on to your equipment is very, very, very important. Now, I was saying that we were going to transition in the nighttime. It does not look like we are actually going to do that. I think there might not be a time advancer on the session.
Yeah,
it says it's static weather in the info. So
okay, so
yeah,
not
I do
transition.
know we have
Whoa!
seen go to Richmond in that time before in this series. So I figured we were going to do it again, but I just realized the shade hasn't changed much.
Kip Easley, though, on the inside of Carson Pittman. Let's see if he can work the inside lane here and get around his teammate cleanly. We saw him almost get up into the door. Yeah, you see Carson Pittman having to get out of the gas there. So Kip Easley going to go ahead and pull around.
But William Brown still got Dylan Hastings just knocking on his door. See, he gets a little bit loose on corner exit. He's going to go up there and get in front of that 4 Carson Pittman, which will give him a little bit of a speed boost going into turn 1.
Carson Pittman getting into the wall there on the front stretch a little bit.
And then here comes Lucas Nilji's. He's pulled back up.
Yeah, I was going to say
Michael
Lucas
Zuber
Nilji's.
as well, Chris.
Michael Zuber also pulling up into the mix, Josh. We're going to have a big battle here for this 5th, 6th, 7th position here before too long.
Yeah, and Kip Easley's loving what he's seeing behind him. He's starting to be able to pull off and really establish that 4th place position it says on the track right now.
You know, it's one of those things. You know, it's like being behind your teammate. You don't, you know, you're like even if they're going a little slower, you know, you don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that guy that bumps him out of the way. You don't want to say, hey man, move, let me get by you. You know, so you just kind of ride and cruise. But then you saw, you know, Carson Pittman just got up into that outside lane a little bit. And just didn't like where he was going, and he had to get out of the gas, and that allowed Kip Easley to pull out in front of him. And you see now he's starting to put a little bit of a gap between him and William Brown. Josh, like you said just a second ago, William Brown still has Dylan Hastings all over that back bumper. I mean, you would pretty much say that that's the 91 car at this point.
Excuse me, Chris. I thought I was about to sneeze there for a second. I wasn't trying to.
Whoa, Carson Pittman up into the wall.
Boy, if you hear me mute for a second, it might be because I'm about to sneeze. I'm
having
his nose tickles. But man, speaking of tickles, these guys are having tickles all over the rear bumpers. Everybody's starting to get testy. Ooh, Pittman might have just tagged the wall just a little bit. I don't think he did though.
As right now, closest battle on track is going to be. Oh, you're Dylan Hastings and William Brown, but Josh, look at that. William Brown going to go ahead and give up that 4th position. Excuse me, that 5th position to Kip Easley.
And Hastings is catching Kip Easley. Well, that's a lapped car. I was thinking, who are they catching so fast? So that is Jaden Bingham in a lapped car.
As we can, let's actually see. Let's see if we can go back and check it. See, diving down into turn 2 here. Yeah. Whoa, Kip Easley getting really loose.
And remember, this isn't live. This is the pass for the position? Or is
Yes,
this live?
this is the pass for the position.
I think you might have done the wrong pass.
Yeah,
for position.
I think I might have done the wrong pass for position.
It is all fine. We can go back live if you'd like.
Yep, I think that was the wrong pass. Oh, well, then do apologize about that. But, yeah, Josh, now look at this. Dylan Hastings all over the back bumper of Kip Easley. Oh, Carson Pittman not having a good night right now. You know, he was...
I mean, that really stinks for him, man. He was a very, very, very fast race car earlier. It's one of those things. You start to lose a little bit of tire life, and the next thing you know, you're really falling off. Did Ken Baum Jr. come down pit road?
No, Ken Baum Jr. still out on the track. Starting to run into a little bit of lap traffic. That's going to be the 28 of Robbie Bice in front of him. So you know Robbie Bice is going to get out of the way, not going to try to hold up traffic or anything. I would be surprised to see Robbie Bice pull up to the top lane here.
We've got, what, 35 laps to go now?
We have 34 laps to go. 33 coming, 33 this, or excuse me, 34. Yeah, 34 this time by. Excuse me.
Oh, you're good, you're good.
Because right now you see the gap between Joshua Susi and Kim Baum Jr. is now up to a 2 3/10 gap.
Look at David Hill Jr. He's really starting to get up there and try to work for that second place position, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a 2 3/10 gap between Kim Baum and Joshua Susi, but it's only a 3/10 gap between Susi and Smill. So Susi looking up in that rear view, he's like, oh man, now I've got David Smill all over my back bumper. You know, even it being your teammate, you still have that thought in your head, you know, this guy is racing for position. You know, he is still trying to get up here and race for that first position. So, you know, it's just in the back of your head, you're still thinking, okay, there's a car right on my back bumper. So, you know, it's going to see how, you know, Susi handles this, you know, adversity behind him now, because this is going to be the closest that he's had anybody on that back bumper pretty much the entire race.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Robbie Bice will be any effect in this race. Maybe a lap car. I don't know if the 12 would. I don't know. I say that, and I don't think the 27 was able to get out of the corner exit all the way because Robbie Bice was in that outside top lane. But it doesn't like. Yeah, this is really going to help that 27 machine. Whoa!
Whoa!
No.
Good save. Good save. Good save.
But that is going to allow Smill to get by. I was saying, I don't think those lappers are going to have any effect in the race. Yeah, way to come back and let that one, you know, instantly prove you wrong.
Well, Susi, I'm going to say this right now. At lap 171, good save, buddy. Whoo! I just had my butt pucker up there for a second. That scared me, and I'm not even racing. Oh, big drive in there from that 81. He is ready to get around that 12 machine. He's like, look, man, you already messed me up once. Just let me go. Not mess him up on purpose, too, by the way.
Just in his head, he thinks, you know, when you're driving like that, any kind of adversity you have like that on the track, you're instantly.
Whoa, there's a lot of smoke.
That guy just messed me up, and then next thing you know,
I think
you're getting cold. I just come down.
I think Michael Zuber might have just blinked out. Not sure. Yes, it's now broken the cameras. There we go. Going to get back on here with Kip Easley. Going to ride back up here on board with Ken Baum. Look, Josh, as I'm saying that, he's starting to get into lap traffic. That 2-second gap is now a second 7/10 to David Smill.
Yeah, but Smill's going to have to go through the same lap traffic, Chris. So
yeah, you're right. But,
you know, if Ken can get through it with ease, then it could make Smill have to, you know, you never know. Lap traffic can do funny things, but look at that, Chris. It is helping him a little. A second and 5/10 now through corner, but it is going to gain that. He is going to gain that gap a little bit. Ken Baum Jr. on corner exit.
And it's about 1 6/10 still back from that David Smill machine. So we're going to see if he can get around this traffic and Ken can get, you know, tagged up. He's still got a couple of lap cars, as we see up there. I want to say that is the 51 of Steve Strittmatter. Yes, it is the 51 of Steve Strittmatter that's right in front of that 27 machine. David Smill. I'm going to say that 51 is just going to stay on that top lane. I see him riding that top lane here the last couple of laps. So I'm going to imagine that 51 just going to ride that top lane, let that 27 go. Yeah, you see right there, 51 just going to say, all right, buddy, you know, wave that virtual hand out. You wave that virtual hand out the window and say, come on through, buddy.
When you're in a position like the 51, you are trying to stay out of any type of controversy. You don't want nobody pointing fingers at you saying, why'd you do this to me here? It's like, well, I've already had too much, you know, adversity and controversy myself tonight. I don't need some more.
Whoa,
Oh,
the 35
around.
getting loose.
Whoa, my goodness, he locked it up quick. That could have just spelled absolute disaster.
Ooh, Ken Bomb. Now we're talking about butt pucker moments.
Oh, I was about to say, talking about pucker factor, Chris.
Ooh.
That was a pucker factor.
That was definitely a pucker factor. The two machines not
that
wanting to see
woke
that.
me up.
Yeah, two machine not wanting to see that. Those turn two terrible guys are not wanting to see this right now, because Ken Bomb is definitely putting on a clinic for these boys right now. Right
he's definitely trying to get it done here tonight in the convincing fashion, isn't he, Chris? Mm-hmm. Which, look at that, the gap is only down to a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ken Bomb, the gap is only a second now. He was able. He
is right behind Ryan Broderick, dude.
I was gonna say he's right behind Ryan Broderick. He did slow him up a little bit, but now let's see if he's gonna be able to get around Ryan Broderick cleanly. And I don't mean that Ryan Broderick would do anything nefarious. I mean, just cleanly. Like, is he going to be able to just pass him like he just did? I don't. No, I'm just also reiterating. I don't want people to think, I'm saying, oh yeah, Ryan Broderick's going to go down there and block him. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, is he going to be able to just, is Ryan going to stay up on the top lane? Is he going to be able to take that bottom lane easy? That's all I mean.
Sometimes it's hard to read what the other car is going to do. Whether you're the lapper or you're the guy trying to get past the lapper. I mean, mistakes can be made. On a race, we can call it an accident sometimes because, I mean, it really is just an accident. I mean, it's not like anything was malicious or, I mean, it just happens, like you said. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if I should be getting butterflies in my stomach right now. Oh, caution!
Caution's out. Brett Stickler.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Brett Strickler around the 38 machine.
I bet you Ken Bomb is either very relieved or he is not happy right now. But if you're on all that lap traffic, losing that much track time, I bet you Ken Bomb's thinking, especially if everybody comes down pit road for tires, I think this could really seal the deal for him if it goes green. But
38 machine around on his own accord.
Quite literally anything can happen here.
Hey, wait up. Whoa! That was a big split there. Woo! Tyler Isley just having to really get down there on that bottom lane. Woo-hoo!
Are we going to have drivers coming down pit road? Yes, we do. Everybody down pit road?
Yep. Ken Bomb Jr. down pit lane. David Smil Jr., Josh Susi, Dylan Hastings, Kip Easley. I'm just going to say that everybody coming down pit lane now. All right, we're going to watch this race off pit lane here. Let's see who's going to get it. You're going to see Ken Bomb pull out first. See. Oh, the 27. David Smil going to win out in front of his teammate, Josh Susi. So, see Dylan Hastings coming out in that 4th position. Kip Easley in 5th. William Brown 6th. Lucas Nilge's in that 7th position. Chris Lynn 8th. Bill Hales in 9th, and Tyler Isley going to round out that top 10 on that caution. So, yeah, as we saw it, just a little bit of a hiccup there from Brett Strickler. Just having a little, coming out of turn 4, you saw him just, get up on the gas maybe a little bit, had the wheel snap on him. I can say there is a pocket. There is a weird little pocket. I can't explain it to you. You just have to drive here. But there is a weird little pocket coming out of turn 4 that if you hit it just right, it will snatch your wheel out from your hand. And that,
yeah, it's almost like Chris, you got to be in a certain groove coming out of turn 4. I mean, not in a certain groove. I mean, when you're in that outside lane, you can ride the outside, you can ride the inside lane, but there is a certain part of the track that if you're in the throttle, when you're not supposed to be, it's almost like, the track or the turf monster from football. We call it the track monster. We're not talking about the monster mile monster. We're talking about anywhere. It just reaches out, grabs her into that car, spins it around, and says, "No, you're not going straight anymore, buddy." So it's one of those things that, like you said, you hit the wrong pocket, you hit that wrong little spot. Even got a spot like that coming out of turn 2 on that low lane, but really, it's just, to me, I think spinning the tires up too fast. I mean, you can have that pocket on any short track with this weird terrain change where it goes from bank to flat so quick. I mean,
like I said, right here,
on the throttle.
You can see it in that camera view right there. You can see the transition change. you know, we'll kind of go back here. You can see the corner, how it comes down, and then right there, past where it says turn 2, it just does a sudden dip down, and that's how the transition in the banking is. And like I said, you can hit it the wrong way, you can come out the corner the wrong, and it's basically the same way in turn 4. Well, turn 4 is more of a, it's more of a gradually, you know, it goes uphill. But, you know, when you step on that gas the wrong way, like I said, there is this one little pocket in the very bottom corner of turn 4. If you hit it the wrong way, it can really upset the rhythm of the race car and have what you just saw happen with that 38 machine. All right, we see Ken Baum Jr. pulling up to that pace car. You see the 81 of Joshua Susi on that outside. It looks like the 81 machine might have actually beat that 27 machine out of pit lane. Green flag is out. Whoa, big stack up there for that 27 machine. That 8 machine to Kip Easley. Not liking that restart that he saw in front of him, but big drive in here from that 27 machine to David Smill. Whoa, David Smill around.
Oh, David Smill's around. He's going to
wheel
it, but no! Wreck. Oh, Dylan Hastings, Susie in the wall.
Big wreck, big wreck, big
down
wreck.
The back straight away.
Big wreck. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, that was a big one there, Josh. We're just going to kind of rewind it there and just show you what happened. You see the front bumper there, Tyler Isley missing. Oh, he was all in that. As we're going to go here into this corner. Just going to put it on slow-mo and just kind of watch it all unfold here. As you see, the 27 of David Smill, he just goes to dive it down in there. And the rear end just,
he's raced already,
yeah,
he drove it in hard.
You can see him already loose. He's been loose for the last 5 seconds. And then his teammate, the 81, nowhere to go. He tries to go up high to get around him. He has to check up out of the gas.
Rear end of his car around, right? No.
He gets down into the one. Oh, he gets down into the one of Dylan Hastings. That's going to send him up into the 81. Big hit there. You know, if you're that Josh Rasusi, that's real life, that's scary. But then you're just going to see the chain reaction. Tyler Isley nowhere to go. The 29 machine getting around. The 4 machine, you know, Carson Pittman getting around. I see Briggs Swope just T-boning the 29 machine. The 9 of William Brown around. 35 around. The 1 machine still going around. I see Tyler Isley doing his best Kurt Busch impersonation, just backing up down, or Kyle Busch impersonation, backing up down here. So just a lot of crazy stuff going on there. That's going to really shake it up. But hey, Josh, you know, like we say, you know, we might be 8 fans in real life, but he just pulled a good Kyle Busch impersonation himself. He got around all of that adversity.
Heck, if he's pulling a Kyle Busch impersonation, he'd already been penalized for speeding on pit road.
That is true too. That is true tue.
So we'll see if Kip Easley's got something for him, man. This is exactly the position he wants to be in, but I don't know if anybody's got anything for Ken Baum Jr.
I'm trying to.
He didn't even have to pass anybody. He just kind of had to sneak in the inside of the 27, and it was home free from there.
Yeah, unfortunate there for that 1 machine.
You know,
he almost got through.
If you're a fan, but if you're just, you know, want to see all these drivers compete, you hate to see it, but if you're that 8 machine, you love what just happened right there. Absolutely love it, especially Nilge's.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Look at Chris Lynn, man. I mean, we haven't even really had the opportunity to talk about him too much tonight. 10 spots now in 4th place. Briggs Swope all the way up in 6th, up 18 spots. So that caution just opened the door wide up for so many drivers to get very solid finishes and really flip the results they were going to get today. I mean, some of these guys were going to finish in 15th, 16th position, which isn't horrible. I mean, it's not like that's a bad position. I mean, if you're racing to try to win, then yeah, it's not a great position. But, I mean, if you're trying to make consistent finishes, it's not like 10th, 11th, 12th, you know, to 15th. It's terrible, but it's better than or sitting in 5th, 6th, and 7th 's a lot better, Chris. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, as I'm getting word from Zuver that he just had some, he had just, you know, racing incidents. And because I had said that he had blinked out, I saw that he posted in chat. Just had some stuff happen, and he just went ahead and pulled to the pits as soon as he hit the wall. So Just got out of everybody's way. So unfortunate for Zuver. Sorry to hear that, buddy.
Yeah, you know, you hate it for a lot of these guys, man. I mean, Zuver was running pretty solid there, up in the top 10. Even was running in the top 10 after having the accident. So, you hate to see it for guys like that. And everybody that's not in the race tonight, thank you for participating. Or that's not in the race anymore tonight, thank you for participating. But we're about to get back to some green flag racing here, Chris.
Yeah, with 9 laps to go.
Green.
8 laps to go this time by.
And look at that. Nilges is going to get a great start on the inside. 8 laps to we call this race official. Who is going to get it done here tonight? And what is this top 3 going to look like at the end of it? This could get absolutely insane.
Yeah, as we saw big wiggles back there from that 9 machine of William Brown. See if he can keep it underneath him. But that Nilges machine going to drive it on the inside of Kip Easley right now. As it looks like William Brown deciding to pull it down pit lane. I see he is in pit lane right now. We're going to watch this 3 machine.
Big drive in on the inside by Nilges. I hear a car wrecking. Caution. I don't know who that was.
This looks like Ryan Broderick.
3. Nilges just went around. Nilges just wrecked after the caution. He should get his position back, but something just happened with that 3 machine.
Oh, unfortunately, yeah. I see the 32 machine of Chris Lynn also around. Let's rewind it back and see what happened here.
Chris Lynn hit the wall, actually. I think he got loose coming out of... Yeah, he got loose.
Yeah, the 3 machine getting really loose. He was able to keep it underneath him, but that's gonna step.
The 32 might have hit the wall.
Yeah, the 32 machine just.
Oh, he got Briggs Swope into him as well.
Yeah, he got Briggs Swope.
Oh yeah, he hit it with the front end. We were just talking about Chris Lynn too, man.
We're gonna go back here.
He did a pinch out of the right rear quarter panel.
Yeah, we're gonna go back here to Ryan Broderick, what originally started everything. At least that's what live timing says. Yeah, is it looking driving into the corner?
I didn't even notice it. We had a wreck right there between him and Zarfos.
Yeah, this is what started all of it. That 5 machine, just bad timing there. The 4, Dylan Hastings trying to get around him, but or Carson Pittman, excuse me. But that's what started all of it. And we see
that's what started all of it. That's what started all of it back there at the back, yeah, but up in the front, it was. I don't know what happened with Nilges there. I guess he just got on the gas.
He got on the gas coming out of that little pocket I was talking about.
We were talking about just got on the gas earlier. This shouldn't finish. We should get a natural green-white checkered.
Yeah, we should get a natural green-white checker. But, Josh, I'm going to say this right now. Look at who is sitting in 3rd place. Had a bad wreck. Had some stuff go on. And he's moved his way back up into that 3rd spot.
Heck, Briggs Swope added the free cooling modification to his car, so.
Hey, but at a short track like, Richmond, the
it's not what you want, but it can still be.
It's not what you want, but it can still be drove here. It can still be driven. Excuse me.
You can still be drove.
As right now, we've got 4 laps to go. Yeah, no, we've got 4 laps to go. This is gonna be the point where Ken Baum, really steps up his, or not steps up his game, just really see if he can, hang on to it and see if, Kip Easley.
This is your absolute last shot. Unless we get a quick caution here to throw us in overtime, I mean, Kip Easley is going to have to put his chips on the table, which could spell disaster for Ken Baum, which could open the door up for somebody like Briggs Swope or Colin McCarthy. If Briggs Swope wins this race with no front bumper, that's going to be absolutely awesome. But, it could be one of those things. Lucas Nilges is there. Chris Lynn's still in here. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting coming down to these last 3 laps. This is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, because this could be anybody's game. Ken Baum, now he's going to have to not worry about anybody in front of him. He has no lap traffic in front of him. So now all he has to do is put the gas down at the right time, don't jump the start, and, keep everybody behind him. That's all he has to do. The rest is history after that. But Kip Easley, we are going to
get a green-white checkered.
This is going to be his make or break. If that 8 machine's got anything left in him, this is going to be where it's at, especially Kyler McCarthy. Briggs Swope, even missing that front bumper, don't count him out. Lucas Nilges, he's still in this. Chris Lynn, Carson Pittman, you know, that 4 machine, he's got fresh tires now. He could, he could get up here and start messing with that front 3. Maybe not Kim Baum, because Kim Baum has been so dominant all night, but this
Well,
second, third position could really be a crapshoot at this point.
all your questions are about to be answered, because we're about to take the green flag for green white checker number 1.
Whoa, big bump there.
But Ken Baum Jr. is going to roll off relatively easily right now. We'll see what Kyle McCarthy's going to try to do. As you see, easily getting kind of trapped out on that outside lane, but he's going to roll right up to the back bumper. Kyle McCarthy, he is pushing that 24 down the backstretch.
Oh, let's see if the 24 is going
to... They're going to hit each other. That's not going to bring out the caution, though. White flag is out. This race is official.
Oh, that's unfortunate there for that 24, Kyler McCarthy. Oh, that's just unfortunate. But who's going to get that second, third position? Kip Easley now rolling out into that second position.
Well, look at David Smil Jr. wrecking. The race is still official, though. Here we come to the green, or the checkered.
Kip Easley.
Ken Baum Jr.
Ken Baum Jr.
Kip Easley taking that second position, and Lucas Nilges, he's going to survive that late race charge there from David Smil Jr.
Yeah, David Smil Jr. was starting to come up out of the middle of nowhere, but then we saw behind just all started getting around. Good finish there from Ken Baum Jr. He pretty much sealed the deal early on, as we see the 2 machine just waiting for everybody to get past him. Whoa, is everybody still out there? But he's going to do that victory burnout.
It will be Ken Baum Jr. here winning the Too Fast, Too Terrible 200 at Richmond Raceway. As we'll wait a second here to get through your official standings. We're going to stay on board for that massive, massive celebration here for a second from Ken Baum Jr. But we will get to your post-race interviews here in just a few minutes. But also, we'll get to your finishing standings as everybody comes down pit road to finish what has been an awesome night here at Richmond. Chris, as if you want to get ready to go through, we can go ahead and get through these final standings, as it looks like Ken Baum Jr. going to shut the burnout down. All right, as we have our official standings on screen, it's going to be Ken Baum Jr., like you said earlier, Chris, kind of sealing the deal with this race from an early point. I mean, he showed that he was absolutely the car to beat tonight. He is going to take victory here tonight at Richmond, with Kip Easley coming in second. Lucas Nilges, he's going to finish third, with a little bit of controversy there, though, with him and Kyle McCarthy. We'll have a word from him about that in just a moment. David Smil Jr., who was on a late race charge, he looked like he could have possibly gotten up there and gotten in the podium. If the race goes 1 or 2 more laps, I think we could have been talking about a different third or possibly second place driver with David Smil Jr. with as fast as he was looking, but he will finish the night out up from 15th in that 4th position. Chris Lynn will finish 5th with Jaden Bingaman in 6th. Brody Green going to finish in 7th position. A good finish from that 91 car, up 21 spots. Ryan Broderick in 8th with Kyler McCarthy 9th. Briggs Swope going to finish 10th. Brett Strickler in 11th. Jeremy Zarfos in 12th with Carson Pittman 13th. Steve Strittmatter going to finish in that 14th position with William Brown in 15th. Jimmy Barr 16th with Dylan Hastings 17th. Andrew May 18th with Joshua Susi 19th. Tyler Isley 20th with Bill Hayes 21st. Robbie Weiss 22nd with Michael Zuber 23rd. Chad Engel 24th with Daniel Menzies 25th. Matthew Fitz 26th with Don DeGroot 27th. Nick Cannon 28th. Jason Hand 29th. And Stan Mayberry, he is going to round out your field in that 30th position. But Chris, these drivers are ready to get the interviews in tonight. We have all 3 drivers ready to go here, and we'll bring up Lucas Nilges, our 3rd place finisher, here in just 1 second. All right. We're going to go ahead and bring up that number 3 machine of Lucas Nilges. Lucas, this is Chris and Josh up here in the Full Throttle booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man. Well, you just finished 3rd place at Richmond here tonight, but we saw a couple of things of adversity there with you earlier, getting loose right there in the last 10, coming out of turn 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Able to save it, able to keep that position. Luckily, the caution popped. But then a little bit of a contact there with you and Kyler McCarthy. Some hard race there coming to the green, or the white flag. But take us through your race, man. Take us through everything right there that happened in the end, and just really tell us how it felt to get that podium here tonight.
Man, it's just basically just trying to keep hitting my marks, roll it through the center, just do my best to not make any mental mistakes. And once we got to the end, I feel like there's some gamesmanship going on, but it's whatever. The turn three contact, I mean, it was nothing intentional at all. I'm sure it will be said otherwise from the other point of view, but it was just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the end of the race. Like, everybody's going to give their all. They're going to overdrive if they're in a battle, and unfortunately, things happen.
Exactly. I mean, we could definitely see you were giving it your all, man. There for a moment there, we thought you were gonna have a kerfuffle coming down the back straightaway when you got into that one situation coming loose off of two. But like you said, hard racing at the end. I mean, we're not here to fault anybody for anything, but we appreciate your honesty towards the situation. I mean, I know a lot of drivers when you ask them about stuff like that would be like, I did this or I did that. My bad. I mean, you were honest about it. You said it was hard racing, and it's exactly what it was at Richmond. But Lucas, man, if you've got any final words, final thoughts, anything that you want to throw out there before we let you get out of here, you're more than welcome to throw them out there, buddy. We'll let you get on your way and celebrate that podium finish here tonight.
I just want to shout out to the boys with TSUR for just helping each other out, being there for each other, and just keeping the cool, calm vibes going on. And shout out to Raleigh for throwing on the league, and shout out to you guys for broadcasting this for us.
Heck yeah, man. Well, we got to say a big shout out to you for putting on a good race here tonight, finishing third, and thank you for taking the time to hop up here and give a few words in the booth after a hard race at Richmond, and hopefully we'll see you with another strong run next week, buddy.
Yep.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good night.
You too.
That was Lucas Nilges. We're going to go ahead and bring in that second place finisher of Kip Easley. I almost just dragged the whole channel up there. Kip Easley, Chris and Josh up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Going good, man. Well, Kip, we saw you sit on pole here tonight, and it seemed like through the first half of the race there, it was kind of a battle to try to get yourself back up there. It seemed like you were having maybe not a tough time to settle in, but just one of those situations where every time it seemed like you would get back on the lane, you had a car coming to your outside, or somebody trying to pass you. But overall, it seemed like you had a good rebound there at the second half of the race, able to finish in second, one position from where you qualified. Almost got the the qualifying in pole and finishing on finishing with the win. But second place here, Kip. Take us through that final couple last 50 laps, and really explain to the viewers what it's like to be in the race car there in that situation, trying to hit your marks, and what did you see from your perspective as well.
Well, it definitely took a lot of concentration to make sure that you're hitting your marks and things like that. I needed to be on the bottom. I was running a little bit of a tighter setup, just because in the beginning it's so loose, and I thought we wouldn't run a lot of long green flag runs just due to being short track racing. And that last 50 or 60 lap run there that we had, I hadn't pitted. I was on 114 lap old tires. So when that caution came out, it was kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time, because I think I was sitting in fourth. And I knew it was going to get, messy after that. But come in and took tires and then restarted. And I really needed to be restarting on the bottom. The top really wasn't good for me. All night I needed to be on the bottom. But I had that tighter setup. It was stable when I came into the corner, but then it really wanted to push in the middle of the corner, but it gave me a lot of like forward drive off of the corner, which is what I was looking for, and it wasn't quite as loose. I just wasn't able to throttle down as quick as I needed to. I didn't have anything for Ken, but a lot of those guys were able to throttle down a little bit quicker than I was, and I'd do some tweaks if I had it to go back over. But the qualifying at first and ended up second. It was a good points night, and I'm real happy with the run.
Heck yeah, Kip. I mean, it seems like it was one of those nights that it could have went a lot different for you, and a lot of people around you had a lot of adversity going on, and you were able to pretty much keep the nose fairly clean. Everything pretty much went smooth for you, and like you said, it would have been I'm sure a little bit nicer to finish one more position up, but hey, overall a great race from you and a big bounce back from some of the adversity you've had these last couple weeks. But Kip, if you've got any final words, shout outs, thoughts, anything before we let you go, you're more than welcome to throw them out there. We'll let you get on your way and celebrate, buddy.
Yeah, just appreciate the league. It's a fun league to run in, and appreciate watching you guys' broadcast here the last few weeks. And appreciate the Up and Smoke guys. It's a good team to be with, and we bounce stuff off of each other, and it's a good bunch of guys. So it's fun to run with, and look forward to Martinsville next week.
Heck yeah, man. We'll be excited to see you there, Kip. again, congratulations on the second place, and good luck next week. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you again.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, and that was Kip Easley, our second place finisher. Going to go ahead and get our winner, Ken Baum Jr., up into the booth. Ken Baum Jr., Chris and Josh up here in the Full Throttle booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, we're going to have to just reserve a spot for you up here every week. You're starting to look like a driver. You're starting to look like a driver with a lot of speed with your second win this season, coming in here at Richmond now, and really just showing these boys how to get it done. It seemed like tonight was your night. I mean, once you took the green flag from the start of the race, you really worked your way up in that lead and kind of didn't look back. How'd the car feel for you? And really, what kind of night did you feel like you were going to have coming in here compared to what you did have?
I had high expectations for myself. I love these tracks that have heavy braking in the turns. I rolled the center pretty good, and it was just, once I got in the lead, I just ran laps at that point. I was waiting for, a battle, but the cautions messed that up a lot.
Yeah, it seemed like you really didn't have much of a adversity coming your way. I mean, you might have had a moment there on some of the restarts where, somebody was getting to your outside or possibly starting to try to pick that nose to the inside. But overall, Ken, you seemed like you kept very good composure, and that 2 machine just seemed wicked fast tonight. Was you guys really working on that setup this week to get it, set up for this race pace?
I don't get to practice as much as I'd like to, so my first laps were before we took the green tonight, but it's
okay.
just experience for me. I've
Yes, sir.
been doing this a long time, so some tracks are harder than others, but these short tracks with heavy braking I'm good at, but the bigger tracks, it's a different story.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely understand what you mean. I'm definitely as I would call myself, a short track ringer. I'm not a big track driver too much, but, Ken, you showed great, just what's the word I'm looking for? Momentum out there. You really had a good rhythm. You never skipped a beat. And overall, that 2 machine seemed like, heck, if you wouldn't have just told me then that you only had a couple hours of practice or however many, laps of practice, I'd have thought you'd been driving the dang thing all week, trying to get that setup tuned as fast as you were. But Ken, overall, a great race. We thoroughly enjoyed watching you get out there and just be so dominant tonight. It was one of those performances when you look back on it, you think, yeah, that was Ken Baum's night and nobody was taking it from him. But Ken, if you've got any final words, final thoughts, shout outs, anything you would like to get off your chest before we let you go, you're more than welcome to throw them out there, buddy, and we'll let you get on your way and celebrate that win here tonight.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the guys at Turn 2 Terribles. I had a wicked fast car tonight, and I can't thank them enough for their support. And Jeremy Zarfis Photography, the Turn 2 Terribles podcast, my girlfriend and my beautiful little girl, support me, and I love them to death for that.
Heck yeah, man. Well, it's good to hear that you got a good support foundation for the 2 car. We're looking forward to you going into next week, man. And again, congratulations on win number 2. We're excited to see what you got going on in that 2 camp, and hopefully here within the next week or so we'll be talking to you again. But like we were saying, with the way it's going, we might just have to reserve a seat for you here every week.
Thank you. Martinsville's probably one of my top 5 best tracks, so we'll see.
Oh, you heard it here. You're already making the bed, man. So tough, big words to live up to. But hey, Ken, again, buddy, appreciate you, man. Awesome race for you. We're gonna have to go back and watch it ourselves, man. Chris, to find that flow you had. It was just a great showing. But we'll let you get out of the the booth, buddy. We'll let you go celebrate that win. And like we said, once again, hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, sir.
Yep. Thank you. See you next week.
Thank you. Yes, sir. All right, and that was Ken Baum Jr., your race winner. Chris, any final words here for the Full Throttle fans before we let them get out of here tonight?
Yeah, just an awesome race as usual. It's one of those things. I was talking to Robbie earlier, and he was saying, yeah, we had 16 cautions last year. But honestly, I think there was 8 in this one, 8 or 9. So it wasn't that bad. It was actually a really good race, and it was a lot of fun to sit and watch everybody, battle it out. Congratulations to Ken Baum, Kip Easley, Lucas Nilges. They did really good job, there at the end. It was unfortunate for a couple of drivers that got caught up there at the end, in some mess. But hey, that's just racing here at short tracks, as Denny Hamlin would say. But it just all comes down to, like you heard Ken Baum say, these short tracks are a lot of fun to watch. And next week at Martinsville, it's going to be even more fun to watch.
I know it's going to be an awesome showing next week, Chris, at Martinsville. I mean, if we've had great racing at Richmond, I don't even want to know what it's going to be like when everybody is just packed up like that. It is going to be an absolute barn burner. some throwback to some old style short track late model racing, and we'll see some really, really good racing next week. But hey, I got to say once again, thank you to every single one of our fans out on YouTube. We really appreciate you guys stopping by, watching the stream, and giving us support. Again, thank you to Robbie, everybody over at Full Throttle. And hey, congratulations once again to our podium finishers. And Ken Baum Jr., congratulations on the win. But hey, we'll be seeing you guys next week at Martinsville. This has been Chris and Josh on the Full Throttle booth signing out, saying have a good week, and we'll see you when we're getting some hot dogs down in the concession stands.